Welcome back to Riverside Park at Newton High School. Well, the Rockdale Bulldogs with the early lead on the Newton Rams 1-0, but a couple of errors was what caused that run, so the Rams will try to get it back, and Bill Dolan bringing you the play-by-play and a chance to untie my tongue and get the Rams a run or two.
All right, the Rams line up like this. Matt Easterday will lead off. He's the shortstop. Ryan Moon pitching hits second. Stephen Hires, the first baseman, hits third. Luke Allen in the cleanup slot playing center field. Chris Middlebrooks is the catcher hitting fifth. Richie Cleary hits sixth playing right field. Britt Bass is the designated hitter. He's batting for Brandon Smith. And Doyle Baker hits in the 8-hole, the third baseman. And Jarvis Johnson starting in left field and hitting ninth against the left-hander.
And for the Rockdale Bulldogs, defensively, on the mound, they've got left-hander Corey Blackman. So Rockdale gets to see another left-hander, and pretty talented from what we've seen in the warm-up tosses so far. Around the infield, Art Lilliander, the third baseman, Barrett Tatum at short, Chris Meadows and Curtis Beddington, the right side of your infield. Around the outfield, it's Corey Holcomb in left, Brian Kenny is your center fielder, Derek Frazier in right, and Shane Kenny is the catcher for Corey Blackman. And Bill, we'll see how the Rams can handle the left-hander here.
They have had a little trouble hitting some of the lefties. Well, one in particular, that strong left-handed pitcher from Columbia who really dominated them, but of course I feel he would probably dominate just about any high school team.
You know, it's funny, taking a look at the line of Jeremy Hartz this year and the teams that he has faced, his strikeout totals are absolutely amazing, and Columbia and Salem played to a 7-7 tie. They are that closely even in their sub-region. Salem and Columbia, the two teams that the Rams played in the championship round of the South Metro, are in the same sub, and I think you can look for Jeremy Hartz if he's available and can keep himself straight for the next couple of years. You can look for him to be a high draft pick when he becomes a senior and leaves high school.
He may be one of those ones that goes like in the first round and immediately steps into about AA or AAA even.
Well, you look at this. He's a left-hander, and he throws in the upper 80s. Now, there are a lot of major league left-handers who don't throw that hard, and he is a sophomore in high school. So, yeah, I'd say that of all the pitchers that we've seen in the last couple of years, there are two who stand out in my mind as people who will in the future probably play professional, possibly even Major League Baseball. One is Zach Frazier, who's with UGA and doing very well as a freshman. The other is Jeremy Hartz.
And the Rams finally about to step up. Corey Blackman given an inordinate amount of time to warm up there. He must have thrown 25 warm-up pitches. Easterday leads it off for the Rams, and Blackman's first pitch to him is a breaking ball that stays outside. 1 ball, no strikes.
Joe Brassfield went with Easterday in the leadoff spot last time out against Shiloh. Did a good job there, reaching base 3 times, so he's there again.
Here's the next one, and it's fouled back and out of play down the right field side. Easterday comes into today's game hitting .258 with 1 home run and 3 RBIs.
These stats, by the way, that we have don't include the 2 games against Troup County, and his average will jump about 50 points with those stats.
And a ground ball out towards the second baseman, Curtis Meadows. He's up over to first in time. Make that Chris Meadows the second baseman. Now, ball not hit hard by Easterday. Meadows with a good play and 1 out.
And if you're the Rockdale Bulldogs, you've got nothing to lose here, having some trouble in the early going, and facing the Newton Rams would be a terrific feather in your cap to pick up a win here. And for the Rams, you really have everything to lose by losing to a team like this, and that's exactly what's happening right now.
Ryan Moon steps to the plate. Here's the first offering to him. Way high, ball 1. Moon came into today's action at a .393 average, and once again, that does not include the Troup County games. Here's the 1-0. And that's just a little bit high. 2-0 the count. Doesn't appear we have the gargantuan strike zone so far for this game, so makes it a little more of a truer game. 2-0 to Moon. Here's the pitch. That's down in the dirt and back to the backstop.
Bill, on-base averages for this Ram team have been phenomenal. For Ryan Moon, hitting out of the number 2 hole, a .393 batting average, but a .571 on-base percentage. And as a team, the Rams are at .500 on-base-wise.
Here's the 3-0, and down low, ball 4. So Ryan Moon walks on 4 straight pitches, and that will bring Stephen Hires to the plate.
And Hires, another one who has stepped up and done the job this year. He's one of the team leaders in a lot of different categories, including stolen bases.
And one big category, too, is doubles, because Stephen seems to really be drilling the ball into the gaps well, hitting a lot like another fellow by the name of Hires,
who unfortunately was sent to Toledo by the Detroit Tigers, so at least right off the bat, he's not going to get the chance to prove himself with the Tigers, and I know he's disappointed about that chance, but hopefully a good start in AAA will get him back up soon.
And we certainly wish him well, and hope that he tears the cover off the ball and gets called up quick. Pickoff throw over to first, and back in time. We've got a courtesy runner for Ryan Moon down there at first base, and it's going to be Bryce Avery running for him. Here's the pitch, and that's a called strike. No balls and 1 strike to Stephen Hires. We've got 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. Rams down 1-0 via a free run they gave to Rockdale on a couple of Doyle Baker errors. Corey Blackman working for the Bulldogs. Pickoff play, and Bryce Avery back in easily.
Bryce Avery struggled against the Shiloh Generals in 3 at-bats. He struck out twice and lined out to the second baseman, so he's not in the starting lineup here while he's getting his stroke worked out. They are going to get the legs to work out, though.
He's going. The pitch is a ball. Throw is high. Avery is safe. Ball gets away, but second baseman backing up. Avery with a good jump there. Wasn't much doubt that he was going to beat that throw.
Well, there have been some question marks this year about his ability to hit, but there have been no question marks about his ability to run. He is about as fast as they come, and he's an aggressive base runner. I think it's a good move when he's not in the lineup to have him out there whenever possible.
1-1 the count now to Hires. Man out there ready to be, and swinging a miss at a fastball, and Stephen didn't get around on that one.
And the field here at Riverside Park, Bill, is still a little bit on the mushy side, especially around the infield. And Bryce Avery took 6 steps towards second and fell straight down, and it almost cost him as Shane Kenny nearly threw back to second base, but Bryce used his speed to get back in time.
1-2 to Hires. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball, and it's looped. What a good job of hitting by Hires. And Avery on the run, and gets by the right fielder. Hires got it head for second. He is safe, and the run scores. Stephen Hires just took the outside pitch and just stroked it out to right field. Credit him with the double there, I believe, because the right fielder had a tough time. That ball right down the line, Kevin. I think we're going to go ahead and give him a double because it was down the line. He would have had a hard time throwing him out. It would have taken a perfect throw and given RBI on the play. Bryce Avery evidently wasn't going right away, it appeared, but he scores, and that evens the score up now at 1-1.
Yeah, Bryce was headed back to second base, which is why it took him as long as it did to score. But Stephen's no slow man himself, and so he's standing at second base after the RBI double.
Here's the pitch to Luke, and that's down low for a ball. Luke has turned it around a bit now, hitting much better, up to 333. He's had a couple of doubles. Still has not taken one out of the yard yet, which is kind of surprising because Luke has pretty good power. 1 ball, no strike. Hires dances off second. Here's the pitch. Down low again, 2-0.
Bill, talking about Luke Allen and his power, wouldn't it be nice if he took one deep in the Hard Luck Cafe wing ding inning this afternoon?
Somebody will win 100, count them, 100 hot wings, courtesy of the Hard Luck Cafe. Luke, 2-0. Stares at Blackman. Here's the pitch. Bounces in front of the plate. Good stop by Shane Kenny. He's taking a beating out there already.
You got a left-handed pitcher in Corey Blackman who's keeping the ball down, literally down, a lot of pitches below the knees, and Shane Kenny is going to remember this game for a while.
Luke Allen doing a much better job of staying in there against the left-handers this year. And there's a called strike. Luke didn't appear to be too happy with the call, thought it was a little up and in. But I'm sure you've noticed too, Kevin, he's not bailing out like he was last year against the lefties. Looks much more confident.
For Luke, being calmer is being more confident, especially out there on the field, and that's the way he is against the lefties.
Here's the next one. Swing and chop toward shortstop. Hires going. Throw over to first. And he's safe on an error by the first baseman. He dropped the ball. He just dropped the ball. It appeared as though Barrett Tatum's throw was good and plenty of time to get him, and Curtis Beddington just dropped it.
Throw was right on target, about knee-high, and he reached forward and grabbed it. Looked like there was a spring in his mitt because it popped in and just mysteriously popped right back out. So it's an error on the first baseman. Speaking of the wing-ding inning, we were talking about it before, Bill. The bottom half of the fourth inning looks like a good one perhaps for the Rams.
That'll be the wing-ding inning today, sports fans, so be sure and stay tuned. Kind of surprising that Stephen Hires ran there. He probably would have been a dead duck if Barrett Tatum had decided to go to third. But the Rams got away with one. Luke Allen is going, but he stops. Now he's heading back, and he is going to be caught in a pickle. And no, they will not get him. As they threw the ball around, nobody went back and covered first base. Kind of an interesting play, and Luke Allen kept running until he was safe.
The catcher, Shane Kenny, threw the ball to Chris Meadows, who cut across. Luke Allen thought the throw had gone through to second base, stopped halfway to second, and he is drawing some disgust from Joe Brassfield right now. But after the second baseman, Meadows, threw it to Beddington, Beddington ran him towards second, but no one covered first base. That's really probably the fault of Corey Blackman, who was standing on the pitcher's mound.
Well, I think he was more concerned about the ball coming home and getting a rundown involving Stephen Hires, but Stephen never left. And here's the first pitch to Chris Middlebrooks, and that's high and away for a ball.
See, for Allen, stopping halfway to second base makes a little bit of sense in that perhaps he should have seen that the throw was cut off, but the throw was a hard one down to second base, and Meadows broke very late.
1-0 to Middlebrooks. Allen gets his lead at first. Throw over there. He's back in, standing up. You could hear Coach Don Shepard yelling back in a nice, loud voice. We haven't seen Coach Shepard, his ability to field the ground ball too much yet. Of course, last year we had the finest fielding first base coach in the region. Middlebrooks overmatched with a fastball. That evens the count at 1-1.
You know, the last 3 or 4 games, Bill, Chris Middlebrooks, when he takes a cut at a pitch, especially when he knows it's going to be a strike, he is shortening up his swing and taking a hard cut, as hard as he can go, looking to possibly drive the ball over the left field wall. And I think he's been swinging and missing every time he's choked up like that and taken the tough swing.
Here's the next one. Swing and fouled right back here. Luke Allen was off with the pitch. He'll have to turn around and go back. The count now 1 ball and 2 strikes to senior backstop Chris Middlebrooks.
This team, in 11 of their 13 games, has 39 stolen bases, so it's an aggressive team on the base paths, no doubt about it.
Unfortunately, they've been thrown out 20 times, too, and lost a few other runners on the bases on other things. 1-2 the count. Blackman gets his sign from Kenny. Allen leads away and throw over there. Almost throws it away, but he's back in time.
When you've got a left-handed pitcher, it makes a little more sense in a first and third situation to throw to first because the pitcher has a good view of the base runner. For a right-handed pitcher who has to do the foot action to throw to first base, it's a lot tougher, and Brookwood was doing that a lot with a right-handed pitcher. Kind of surprising.
And Middlebrooks fouls that one back. Allen had a pretty good lead there, but he was kind of caught in between. Kind of a strange motion by Blackman right before he released it. Pretty close to a balk, Kevin.
Yeah, as a left-hander, you almost learn how to come close to balking because left-handers have a reputation, and so you have to try to uphold that reputation. Jason Lunsford does the same thing on his throws to first base, comes very close to balking. His step when he throws to first is about halfway between first and home.
Here's the 1-2. Runner going. Throw. Cut off in front of the base, and Stephen Hires standing on third base as the second baseman Meadows cut in front to take it. So credit a stolen base to Luke Allen.
This time he didn't hesitate on the throw down, realized that Meadows would come across to cut it off. So we've got 2 men in scoring position here, and the Rams can take the lead. Middlebrooks can look for something outside, and if he tries to go to right field, we might see 2 come in.
2-2 the count. From the belt. Here's the pitch. Swing and fouled right back here. We'll do it again.
Well, he got the outside pitch, Bill, but couldn't quite take it to the off field.
Corey Blackman has pretty good velocity on that fastball. The Ram hitters aren't exactly getting around and cranking on him, but I got the feeling by the time we go through this order the second time, the Rams will be nailing him pretty good. 2-2 the count. Ram runners lead away. Here's the pitch. And that ball is skied to short center field. Will we have a play? The right fielder comes in and drops it. And 1 run will score. Here's Luke Allen heading for third. Here's the throw. He's in standing up. And another error. This game not starting off well. Give the right fielder an error on the play. He was underneath it, and he closed his glove before the ball got there, Kevin.
Yeah, apparently that's one of the reasons why this Rockdale team has had its troubles early on is the defense. Already two errors here and a couple of other defensive problems, one on a rundown. We've got a courtesy runner from Middlebrooks. Matt Vaughn is down at first base. And Matt Vaughn's line, Bill, I got to tell you about this. Fascinating. He has 2 at-bats. He scored 5 runs because of being used as the courtesy runner. And in fact, if you look at Middlebrooks, who's hitting .375, he's been on base how many times? 14 times. He's scored twice because they run for him every time. So,
and one of those was because he hit a home run.
Right. So for Vaughn takes all of Middlebrooks' stats in that category.
Absolutely. And unfortunately, that ball was hit so short, you've got to believe that the sac fly wouldn't occur. So
right.
we can't credit Chris with an RBI on the play, unfortunately.
Right. Yeah, that ball was probably 10 feet behind the infield grass.
Runner going. Shot by Cleary to the shortstop. Fields over to first and in time, but credit Richie Cleary with an RBI as Luke Allen comes home on the play. Richie up there hacking at the first pitch. Hit a ground ball to the shortstop. Good thing Matt Vaughn was going on the pitch because that ball was tailor-made for 2, but the Rams get another run.
Another way in which aggressiveness on the bases helps you. That runner's not going. You've got a double play at the end of the inning. But because Vaughn was going, the shortstop Tatum had no play on him. And so you've got another runner in scoring position here in Vaughn with 2 out.
And Britt Mask steps to the plate. Here's the first one to him, way high and wide. 1 ball, no strikes. Britt off to a slow start this year, hitting .071.
Poor guy has the DH against left-handers, which means he's seen Jeremy Hartz and the other tough left-handers the Rams have faced this year.
Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss on a off-speed pitch, low and away. Probably out of the strike zone. He might have helped him out there.
Bryce Avery has been struggling at the plate, so I wouldn't be surprised if you see a little more of Mask against righties out of the DH spot. You'll see Lane Floyd also against the right-handers.
1-1, 2 out. Blackman brings it to Mask, and it's down low. 2-1 the count now. Matt Vaughn running for Chris Middlebrooks, who reached on an error. This game laden with errors already. The Rams committed 2, and Rockdale already has at least 3. And
they have 2 officially, plus the one on the bad rundown, which you could consider an error, certainly.
And there's a wild pitch back to the backstop. And Shane Kenny will not make a throw.
Matt Vaughn must have not realized until much later that ball was back to the screen, because he was about halfway to third base and was kind of trotting in slowly, and I think Kenny might have had a shot at him down at third base.
As soon as he picked it up, if he would have thrown, I believe he would have had that. Infield appears to be real slow over on that side, and the runners aren't doing real well, so a good throw may have had him. 3-1 to count the Mask. Here's the pitch, swung and fouled back. That runs the count full.
Bill, we've seen 4 runs from both sides together here in the first inning on a total of 1 hit, that being the double by Hires. So the errors have played a key role in runs coming across, and it always does. It seems that when you walk people or have trouble with defense, it always comes back to hurt you.
Here's a pitch to Mass. Swung and drilled to left center field. Left fielder Holcomb going back, and he makes the play. Brent Mask made a bid for the gap, but the ball seemed to hang up in the air just a little bit, and Corey Holcomb made a good running catch over the shoulder. The Rams do come up with 3 runs. They did so on 1 hit. The Bulldogs committed 2 errors, and there was 1 runner left on base. We head now to the top of the second inning. Your score is Newton 3, Rockdale 1. This is Newton Ram Baseball on WGFS AM 1430.
The Bank of Covington offers full-service banking and convenient locations, and you can find what you want in a checking account, savings plan, simple interest loan, and 24-hour automatic banking that gives you access to over 8,000 ATMs throughout the Southeast and the USA. Just what you'd expect from a leading financial institution. The Bank of Covington, member FDIC, an equal opportunity lender.
Bulldog Tire Company is your complete car care center. They take off tires, wheels, have wheel alignment, tune-ups, brake service, road and farm service, radiator repair, wrecker service, and much, much more. That's Bulldog Tire Company. Talk to owner Tommy Coker at 787-6030, 787-6030. Bulldog Tire Company, 4108 Elm Street in Covington. Bulldog Tire Company.
From Riverside Park at Newton High School in Covington, Georgia. Good news if you're a Newton Ram fan. It's 3-1. Rams on top of the Rockdale Bulldogs and looking to go to 3-0 in the sub-region. Continue it here with the second inning and Bill Dolan.
Thank you, Kevin Holden. The Rams took advantage of some miscues by Rockdale, just as the Bulldogs did in the first inning. They'll send Curtis Beddington up to the plate, the first sacker for the Bulldogs. He made kind of a costly error. Here's Moon's first pitch to him. It's down in the dirt. The Rams line up defensively with Stephen Hires at first, Brandon Smith at second, Matt Easterday is the shortstop, Doyle Baker's at third base. Around the outfield, Jarvis Johnson in left, Luke Allen in center, Richie Cleary in right, Chris Middlebrooks behind the plate, and Ryan Moon preparing to bring the 1-1 offering home to Curtis Beddington. And here it comes, and it's down low. 2-1 to count now.
Bill, it's good to have the two of us doing a game here at Riverside Park. Seems either one of us have had some prior commitments, but it's been a while, but it's good to be back.
Swing and a miss by Beddington as Ryan Moon challenged him with the inside fastball, and Beddington couldn't come up with it. Working quickly, here's the pitch. Swing and a foul tip just out of the glove of Middlebrooks. Looked like he had it for a minute.
Ryan Moon reminds me a lot of a former Ram shortstop and pitcher, Matt Hires. A quick worker, throws a lot of strikes, works very quickly, and if you're a batter, you can get thrown off guard, and he'll sneak a fastball by you every once in a while. That's one of the keys.
Off speed, popped up a mile high. Easterday goes out, and now Luke Allen comes in and calls him off and makes a good play. One down.
Hires also a very tough competitor who works a lot off of adrenaline, and that's the way Ryan Moon is, about as tough a competitor as we've seen from any team, including the Rams this year.
Ryan really likes to get things fired up. He plays with intensity, and he was a big part in getting some of the Ram players, after some of those more lackadaisical efforts, he got some things rolling, and then some of the senior leaders took over and got things fired up. That brings Art Lilliander to the plate. He's playing third base for the Bulldogs. Moon's first pitch, and that ball's popped up. That's going to be in no man's land. Who's going to get it? Ryan Moon makes a play just in foul territory. That's one of those ones that's kind of scary because you've got three people all converging and a base runner, actually four, and you hate to see that happen because somebody can get hurt in those situations.
And the worst thing that happened was that Lilliander was right at the spot where the ball dropped, so that by the time Ryan Moon made the catch, he made the catch and had to olay to avoid the base runner of all people. Not his first baseman or his catcher, but the base runner.
And a called strike from Moon to Corey Blackman, the pitcher. He also bats from the left side, throwing as well from the left side. And there's a chop out to Brandon Smith at second. Field cleanly, over to first, and that's 3 up and 3 down. Good job by Ryan Moon. The ball doesn't hardly leave the infield. And no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We're going to head to the bottom of the second inning. Just remember, bottom of the fourth, Hard Luck Cafe inning coming your way. This is Newton Ram Baseball. The Rams on top 3-1, and you're listening to it on your local leader, WGFS AM 1430.
At Coast to Coast Home and Auto, we believe when you buy a new lawnmower, it should come with no strings attached. That's why Coast to Coast Home and Auto is proud to offer a complete line of Toro Super Recycler mowers. The exclusive Toro 5-year total coverage warranty guarantees that if anything goes wrong with a Toro within 5 years of normal use, Toro will fix it free. No strings attached. Even failure due to normal wear and tear is included. No other manufacturer makes that claim. Coast to Coast Home and Auto also wants you to know that Toro Super Recycler mowers equipped with Toro GTS engines are guaranteed to start on the first or second pull for 5 years, or Toro will fix them free. No strings attached. If you really think about it, it only makes sense. The best mowers should have the best warranty. So come see us at Coast to Coast Home and Auto for warranty details. We have a great selection of new Toro Super Recycler mowers, each with a Toro total coverage warranty and no strings attached.
We're back at Riverside Park, Newton High School. Well, for the first time in probably 3 or 4 days, there's no rain here, but the Rams bats are raining runs on the Rockdale Bulldogs, and here's your alliterative, I knew I couldn't get that word out, here's your alliterative host, Bill Dolan.
Thank you very much, Kevin Holden. Rams on top 3-1, taking advantage of some shoddy play by the Rockdale Bulldogs. The Rams tightened it up that last inning, not allowing a base runner. Good play on a pop-up by Luke Allen, and Brandon Smith with a good play on a ground ball as he had to range to his left, came up cleanly and threw him out easily. Good to see the backups come in there and do the job, because when your starting second baseman comes in to pitch, sometimes that can be a problem, but Smitty seems to be able to do the job.
Well, you can remember when Matt Hires had to come in and pitch, and the Rams would have some trouble up the middle a couple of years ago. So it's nice to have a third person who can play up the middle and be steady like that.
Doyle Baker will lead it off here for the Rams. Doyle's bat's cooled off just a little bit lately. He started off like a ball of fire. Here's the first pitch to him, and that's down in the dirt. He's still hitting .384. He was up there in astronomical figures for a while. Still looking for that first ding of the season, though. Came pretty close the other night from what I understand, Kevin.
Yeah, the wing ding inning, too.
Ball 2, high and away.
He's second on the team in extra base hits. Baker is next to Stephen Hires. Hires has 6, Baker has 5. Interesting, neither of them have hit a home run.
Here comes the 2-0 to Baker, and that's also way high. And Blackman seems to be struggling a bit with his control. He gets behind in the counts, has only walked one batter so far, I believe, but it came around to score, which usually does happen. 3-0, and that's down and inside. Ball 4, and Baker hustling down to first base. A la Charlie Hustle of years gone by.
That's right. He's a third baseman, too, and has a chance to be the utility player that Pete Rose was in his day, of course, starting as a third baseman, then moving around from there.
Doyle appears to have locked up that third base job. Sorry to see him having those leather problems tonight here, but hopefully he'll get that straightened out because he has made some great defensive plays in previous games for the Rams.
Leads the team in errors now with 7 after those 2.
Pickoff play, and Baker just gets back in time. He was leaning, and tough day to be leaning out there with the ground just a little mushy.
Yeah, when that happens, when a pitcher goes to first base, your first instinct might be to go back to the bag, but your body may not follow because of the conditions.
Here's the first pitch to Jarvis. Checks his swing. No, he didn't. It's a strike call. No balls and 1 strike. Jarvis has struggled a little bit against the southpaws, too, so we may see another change and get another right-handed bat into the lineup when they face these lefties. Pickoff play, and Baker back in time.
This time there were about 48 first base coaches screaming back to him.
Yeah, Blackman really telegraphed that one. It was like, oh, I'm going to throw it over here, by the way. And as he kind of almost stopped in his delivery, and you could really see it was coming. That very close to a balk as he throws over there again because he stepped, and it appeared that foot was definitely coming towards home plate. Johnson half in and out of the box, checking with Coach Joe Brassfield. Coach Don Shepard down at first, giving instructions to Doyle Baker. Here's the pitch, and that's down in the dirt. Another good stop by Shane Kenny. Is he a catcher or a goaltender today, Kevin?
Could be a little of both, I think, before it's over with, when you've got someone who's had to catch that many low pitches. Credit Kenny with doing a good job. In fact, there's been no pass ball so far, despite all the pitches in the dirt.
Had the one wild pitch that went over his head, and there's really not much you can do against that. Here's the pitch to Jarvis. He's going to bunt, and he bunts, and it's a beauty. And Baker will go into second base easily. So credit Jarvis Johnson with a sacrifice. Doyle Baker down to first. Jarvis waited and laid it out about halfway between pitcher's mound and the batter's box, and easily into second base, Doyle Baker.
Johnson has done a good job this year with the bunting game. He has been able to sacrifice runners and wreak some havoc. You remember in the Columbia game, a big turning point was him laying down a bunt and beating it out thanks to an error by the third baseman. But the second baseman here for the Bulldogs, Chris Meadows, was nowhere near the bag. The pitcher, Blackman, had no play at second because Meadows wasn't there. So that, of course, contributed to Baker being in scoring position right now.
And Easterday fouls one back behind the screen. Matt grounded out weakly to the second baseman his first time up.
You're going to have some fun reading the rest of the scorebook, aren't you?
Well, I figure you'll help me out a little bit.
I'm keeping score, and you're doing the play-by-play, and unfortunately, I can listen to you all afternoon do play-by-play. You may have a little trouble reading my scorekeeping.
Matt told me before the game that he was kind of upset we weren't there for Troop because he said he broke out of his hitting slump, and we weren't there to catch it for him. We apologize, Matt. We're doing the best we can, covering as many games as we can for you here on WGFS. Easterday stepped out. He's back in. Here's the 0-1. Check swing, and good job of holding the bat there to make sure, almost a la David Justice, leaving the bat there to make sure the ump sees it didn't cross over the plate.
Only difference is he didn't kind of throw the bat up in the air the way Justice does sometimes when he checks his swing. Easterday had a double and 2 walks against the Shiloh Generals and struck out on a questionable call, so he probably should have reached base 4 out of 4 times in that game. That was the last time the Rams played.
Baker dance off second. Here's the pitch down low. 2 balls and 1 strike now to Easterday. Matt gets a pitch that he likes to hit. You can see something heading towards that red sign out in right center field. That appears to be where he really likes to drive the ball.
It points his stance toward right center field and wouldn't mind banging one off the Hard Luck Cafe sign.
Here's the pitch. And he was going that way, and he fouled it back to the backstop. He literally, if you look, his stance points almost directly at the Hard Luck sign.
Really does, and that's how he gets a lot of his extra base hits and home runs is to the off field to right center.
And the way the ball carries here at Riverside Park, that's not a bad place to be aiming. Count is even at 2-2. Baker dances from second. Here's the pitch. Low and away. The count is now full.
One very fortunate thing, Bill, for the Rams is the fact that since these rainouts have been going on, you'd expect there to be a glut of games coming up in the near future, but they have Monday off, the Rams do, so they'll play today and tomorrow, and then they have until Wednesday off.
And that one goes back to the backstop, so that'll be a wild pitch on ball 4. It's still rolling away, and Kenny hustles over to get it as it almost went to the dugout. So a base on balls for Easterday as he reaches, and a wild pitch allowing Doyle Baker down to third.
So if Mother Nature was going to pick a time to rain out a couple of days in a row, I think she picked the right time, because even after Saturday, the Rams can have Sunday off and then Monday and Tuesday to practice before a huge game, Bill, on Wednesday.
And it looks like both of us are going to be there.
That's right.
On the road at Parkview. A huge game, and that this will probably really tell the Rams where they stand in the sub-region.
Yeah, in fact, I wouldn't be surprised if when the tournament time comes around, Parkview and Newton are heard from in a major way in that tournament.
That's going to bring Ryan Moon to the plate. Ryan walked in the first inning and ended up scoring on a double by Stephen Hires after stealing second base.
Nice job reading the scorebook. Actually, Avery was the pinch runner who came around to score.
That's right. We did have the courtesy runner for him. Usually Ryan runs for himself, but I guess Coach trying to get some extra players into the game and then maybe trying to save Ryan Moon, hopefully hoping to get 7 full innings out of him.
Of course, the difference here is he's pitching and not playing second base.
That's true. Here's the pitch, and that's a strike called. Good-looking fastball outside corner about knee-high, and Moon down in the count now, no balls and 1 strike.
He was unhappy with himself after taking that pitch. Knew it was a strike when it came across the plate.
Would have been a good pitch to try to just drill to the opposite field and pick up an easy RBI down there at third. Pickoff play over to first base at Easterday back in standing up. Ryan Moon, very aggressive ball player, but a very good controlled aggressiveness. Stays within himself, but manages to get fired up and get everybody else fired up too. Here's the pitch. And the runner is going. Credit a stolen base to Easterday. As Kenny faked the throw down to third, Doyle Baker still stayed within about 2 feet of the bag, just waiting to see if anything would happen. So the Rams now, both runners in scoring position, and the count even at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Doyle Baker is one of those base runners that doesn't make a lot of mistakes on the base pass. He's usually in the right place at the right time, and you can credit good instructing and coaching throughout his career for that. And it was evident there. It was a fake throw to second, and you could see a lot of base runners perhaps coming off that third base side, but Baker was staying close to home.
And with the ground a little bit slippery, all it takes is 1 step leaning the wrong way, and if you slip and lose your balance, he could have gotten picked off, but like you say, he was right there at the bag. Good job by Doyle. And here's the pitch, down and in the dirt again. Another scoop by Shane Kenny.
Tell you this much, Shane Kenny must get a lot of experience with this pitching staff in doing that, and I have a feeling by the time he's done with his high school career, some colleges might look at him for his defensive abilities.
Good job of keeping the ball out in front of him, blocking it, and actually gloving a lot of these low throws. Those are tough to do. Here's the pitch, and Moon reaching out, trying to go to right field with it. Probably helped out Blackman there. That pitch appeared to be way off the strike zone, but that evens the count now at 2-2.
And when you say he went down for it, literally he went down, bent the upper half of his body down, and went after a pitch just above the ankles.
Looked like he was trying to get a sand wedge out way away from him and fouled it off.
It's only 120 yards to center field, Bill.
That's correct. That would be about as good sand wedge. Ryan looks out now. Got to protect the plate, and he calls time. Steps out. Didn't like how much time Blackman was taking. Stephen Hires stands on deck. Stephen with his team-leading 6th double back in the first inning. Here's the pitch to Ryan, way outside. Count now full, 3-2. Rams with a chance to break this one wide open.
Blackman's been throwing a tremendous number of pitches, and already here in the second, Rockdale has action in their bullpen.
When someone's having trouble with the strike zone, normally you see somebody get up quick, and like you said, they do have a righty up throwing. Blackman prepares for the 3-2. Here it is to Moon. Ball 4, and Ryan Moon walks for the second time. That loads the sacks for Stephen Hires.
And Blackman has walked 3 of the last 4, so if you're Hires, you're in an interesting dilemma facing Blackman. Actually, that dilemma might not happen because David Bell has come out to the mound, and he looks like he's going to make a change. So scratch that dilemma that Hires is going to have. He'll be facing a completely new pitcher. At least we think he will.
Well, the coach for Rockdale was out there pointing to a whole bunch of different things, and nobody's moved yet.
He was pointing at his second baseman and shortstop. Apparently there was going to be a switch there. There is someone warming up in the bullpen for the Rockdale Bulldogs. But David Bell is at the mound with his pitcher Blackman and his catcher Shane Kenny, and so far no one has moved a muscle so far except for Bryce Avery, who is in to run for Ryan Moon. So he's at first base, Easterday at second, and Baker at third with one out. And Stephen Hires can pad the RBI totals here. He's already got 8. That's third on the team behind Luke Allen and Chris Middlebrooks. And, of course, you know, a long one, Bill, would tie him for the team lead. Actually, it would give him the team lead because he had one last inning.
That's right. And Stevens, like you started to say, kind of a enviable position. Blackman has to throw a strike, so is Stevens sitting there waiting on that one to jump on, or does he have the take sign until he throws a strike? Here's the first pitch. Oh, and he was up there hacking away. Got a high fastball, and he had a cut.
Hires was looking at the team lead in RBIs there.
I think he was looking at something right over the Newton baseball sign there as he really had a cut at a high fastball. 0-1 the count. Blackman working from the full line. Here's the next one. Swing and drill down the right field line, foul. Steven up there not getting cheated with these swings.
And Stephen Hires, we were talking about it before, with Blackman, who had walked 3 of the last 4, you know he's having control trouble, so do you let him throw a couple of pitches? Do you take a few? Not Stephen Hires. He's up there hacking.
Well, that's part of the aggressive idea behind Coach Brassfield, too. Here's the 0-2. Oh, and it's back to the backstop, and nobody will be able to advance as it came back quick. That ball 3 feet over Shane Kenny's head. In fact, it was so bad that it kicked off the backstop back to him, so no Ram runners were able to advance.
Yeah, the pitch was so bad, it was literally good. It allowed it so that no one could advance. With an 0-2 count, you can afford to waste a pitch like that, but the pitch was so far over his head, it hit up near the first bar here on the backstop, and no one could go anywhere.
Blackman from the wind. Here's the pitch to Hires, and it pops it up, and the infield fly rule will be called. Second baseman underneath it, and he squeezes it for out number 2, and that's a huge out for Rockdale and Blackman to come up with. Stephen Hires kind of the pivotal man in the inning to the point, and unable to get the job done.
Yeah, in this particular circumstance, he got behind 0-2, which I think hurt him, and had to go after a pitch he might otherwise have taken and had to pop it up. But, of course, Luke Allen has not been a bad RBI man this year himself.
No, he hasn't. Let's see if he can get the job done. He bats now with 2 outs and the base is loaded. Blackman gets his sign from Kenny. Here's the first one to Luke. Way inside. Almost a little chin music as Luke steps back.
That'll help to get Allen off the plate, but if you know the way the type of competitor Luke Allen is, he'll be stepping back in, and he can look for something around the outside part. You might see him drill this pitch.
1-0 the count. Luke reached on an error by the first baseman his first time on a ground ball to the shortstop. Blackman taking a long time, brings it home, down low and away in the dirt, and Shane Kenny stopped it, couldn't find it for a minute, but there it was, right between the wickets.
And that was an outside pitch, but low and outside the strike zone. Now behind 2-0, with Blackman needing to throw strikes so he doesn't walk in a run, Allen can look for something fat.
And he got something and was unable to come up with it. Luke really talking to himself after that one. That was a pitch that he knows he should have been able to drive at 2-0. That makes the count 2-1 now. Blackman readies. Here it comes. Allen swings and drills it down the left field line. Foul and out of play.
Nice job from Allen, Bill, going the other way and taking the outside pitch down the left field line. If he can continue to do that and use the whole field throughout the year, I think you'll see the average climb up over the current 333 mark and probably closer to 400.
The left and center field are shading Luke a little bit towards left field, and kind of a nice gap in right center towards the Hard Luck Cafe sign. Allen looking for something just to put into play. Wants to hit the ball and get it out of the infield if he can. 2-2 the count. 2 outs. Bases loaded. Corey Blackman working for the Bulls. Checks his sign. Here it comes. Down low, another scoop by Shane Kenny, and the count's full. And we'll have the old merry-go-round, Kevin Holden. All the runners ready to go.
This is a pivotal pitch in this inning. 2 outs, full count, bases loaded. A base hit could blow this puppy wide open right here, but an out could turn the big momentum back.
They're going, and ball 4. And that's an easy way to pick up an RBI. Luke waited him out and finally ended up with the Annie Oakley, the free pass. He stands down on first base with an RBI, and the Rams increase their lead to 4-1. And that's going to bring Chris Middlebrooks to the plate.
Middlebrooks also big in the RBI category. Leads the team with 12 RBI, despite the fact that he missed 3 games, Bill.
He really has come up strong and had some big clutch RBIs, particularly last Friday in the regional opener against Brookwood, driving in the winning run in the 10th inning and making a lot of people happy, including you and I.
No doubt about it. In fact, Middlebrooks thought that ball that he hit against Brookwood would be caught by the left fielder, but bounced out of the mitt, and the Rams won that game.
Bases are still loaded. Oh, and a strike called on a pitch that appeared to be just a little inside, but 0-1 the count. 2 outs. Rams up by 3. Bottom of the 2nd inning. Middlebrooks looking to rip something and break it wide open. Here comes the 0-1. Swing and fouled back to the backstop. He had a cut.
Middlebrooks, one who definitely has enough upper body strength to take one over those signs in left field of the previous Newton Ram players that have been drafted, including Sonny Jones and Keith Street, 1979, Jason Ellis in 89, Tim Hires, of course, 1990, and Jeff Key, 93. You'll be able to add 2 or 3 more players to that list very shortly.
0-2 the count. Middlebrooks has to protect the plate. Here it comes. Swing and drill to right field. The right fielder Frazier on his horse. Will not get it. It's by him and all the way to the wall. 1 run is in. Here comes another run. And Middlebrooks will hold up at second base with a bases-clearing double.
Derek Frazier down the right field line for Rockdale had a long way to run for that ball, and I think misjudged it. In fact, I think he probably should have made that catch, but with I don't know if there's a wind blowing out that way or not. The flag is limp in center field, but the way Frazier went after it, you'd have thought the ball was trailing away from him. But that's a 7-1 lead and the end of the night here for Corey Blackman.
And this is the second visit of the inning, so that's going to do it for Blackman. And we'll be back in just a moment and tell you who will be the new Rockdale pitcher. You're listening to Newton Ram Baseball on WGFS AM 1430.
At Hardy's Floor Covering and Supplies, we've got you covered. With vinyl, wallpaper, carpet, wood, parquet, VCT tile, interior design service, carpet cleaning service, and blinds. They're the largest and most complete carpet store serving Newton, Rockdale, and Morgan counties, Lake Oconee, and surrounding areas. They specialize in residential and commercial flooring. Their professional carpet consultants and interior designer will bring samples to your home, take measurements, and quote you a price all in one visit. Call them for Covering and Supplies, 786-9245, 786-9245, or in Madison, 342-3869, 342-3869. Hardy's Floor Covering and Supplies.
How do you spend your Saturday mornings? Why not join Bill Dolan and Kevin Holden from 9 to 10 for the Saturday Morning Super Trivia Spectacular? That's your chance to win prizes and show your knowledge of trivia. Right here on WGFS AM 1430.
Welcome back to Riverside Park, where the Newton Rams have helped to blow things open here. Chris Middlebrooks with the double, driving in 3 runs and putting the Rams on top 7-1, forcing Rockdale to bring in a new pitcher, right-hander Grant Traylor, and giving you play-by-play right-hander Bill Dolan.
Chris Middlebrooks did what he had to, fought off a tough pitch, drilled it down towards the right field line, and as you said, Derek Frazier somehow seemed confused on the ball. It looked like he should have caught the ball, but it dropped beside him, and you can't give an error on a ball that the man doesn't get to, so credit Chris Middlebrooks with a good job of hitting, now with 15 RBIs on the season already.
Not a bad showing from Middlebrooks, and again, remember, he missed 3 games, and of course, you have to know after the injury that he had that he probably wasn't 100% when he came back, but realized that his presence was missed here and came back anyway.
It really was. The Rams needed the leadership from the senior backstop. He's the real fire and pepper behind the plate for him, and really gets them going when they start to put their heads down in that, and that's what you need, is that guy behind the plate. Here's another guy when he pitches who really helps to bring the fire up, and that's Richie Cleary. A little tough from right field, Big Rich, not the loudest of people, but when he's pitching, he's really a fire-up guy, too. And I'd like to see Rich get out of his hitting problems and just drill one right here. What do you think, Kevin?
Be a good chance to do it. He's hitting 188 coming in, and he's 0 for 1 with an RBI ground out so far, so be a nice time.
Here's the first pitch, low and away, off-speed pitch. I'm sure that's not what Richie was wanting to see.
Well, Bill, you and I both know the one pitch that would help Richie get out of his slump really fast. That, of course, would be a fastball, probably high and tight.
Right. Richie really standing way up in the batter's box this year. Swing and a miss. See, he's having a little trouble by trying to give away so much on the off-speed and the breaking pitches. He's not the power on the fastball that he used to be. Cleary stands up there. Waves that big war club. 1-1 the count. Here's the pitch. High and away. 2-1 the count now. Rams 7. Rockdale 1.
Grant Traylor's pitching smart here to Richie Cleary, keeping the ball away and off the plate to him, knowing that if he gets one inside, Cleary could take him deep. And Traylor's the only senior for this Rockdale Bulldog team.
Big opening through the hole into right field. If Richie can ground one out that way. It looked like he was trying to do that as he swung and missed at a pitch way outside, though. That evens the count now at 2-2 with 2 outs.
Cleary kept his hands back, as you mentioned, Bill, and was looking to go to right field there, but came up short.
It looks like the coach's wife has a new job. I see her down there taking some pictures. Here's the pitch to Richie, and it's low and away. That runs the count full.
Bill, I don't see Pat Brassfield. Where is she?
Standing on the 5-gallon bucket right there.
Oh, okay. Right next to the Newton Ram dugout. Next to the Newton Ram 1994 8 Quad A champ sign. Just thought I'd throw that in.
Yeah. She was snapping some pictures a minute ago. Here's the full count pitch. Richie drills at the center field. On his horse is Brian Kenny. He, at the track, makes a great catch. Well, Richie got it just about all of that when he hit it about 350 feet to dead center, right in front of the 360-foot mark. But a great running catch by Brian Kenny. However, the Rams do come up with 4 runs. They did it on 1 base hit, left 1 runner on base, and there were no Rockdale errors. But we head now to the top of the 3rd inning. Your score is Newton 7, Rockdale 1. This is Newton Ram Baseball on WGFS AM 1430.
It's spring fever at Mayfield Ace Hardware. Just check out these great prices for all your spring cleaning and gardening. Corona 21-inch hedge shears or Corona 24-inch bypass lopper, your choice, just $19.96. An Ace spring rake, $7.96. A garden weasel cultivator garden claw, $34.96. An Ace folding pruning saw, just $5.97. Or an Ace bypass lopper, just $19.97. It's spring fever at Mayfield Ace Hardware, your headquarters for spring cleaning and gardening. Mayfield Ace Hardware on the square in Covington.
East Metro Paging is your hometown paging company, offering quality Motorola pagers and coverage options ranging from Metro to nationwide. East Metro handles their billing and repairs in-house. That means if you have a problem with your pager, you're not passed off to someone else. East Metro Paging offers their customers free of charge a loaner pager if their unit should need repairs. And if you're considering a pager, or if you're interested in moving your pager service to a dealer that specializes in communications, call East Metro Paging, 786-6796. You can also visit their store at 7115 Highway 278, a quarter-mile east of Newton General in Covington. East Metro Paging is a division of East Metro Communications Incorporated, this area's oldest communications dealer.
Welcome back to Riverside Park. Rams Rockdale Bulldogs. Bill Dolan, your play-by-play.
Thank you, Kevin Holden. And the first batter for the Rockdale Bulldogs, Corey Holcomb, pops up to, actually it was a grounder, it looked like a pop-up back to the pitcher, and plugged through him out on the play.
One hopper and a swinging bunt, essentially, as it bounced about 2 feet in front of home plate. So with one down here in the 3rd, Rockdale will try to get their first hit with the top of the order.
And here's the first pitch to the shortstop, Barrett Tatum, and it's a called strike. Ryan Moon throwing a lot of strikes.
He's retired 5 straight without a strikeout, which tells you he's throwing strikes and the defense is doing their job.
Here's the next one. A little bit low and away, and I'll tell you, Kevin, Chris Middlebrooks just looks better and better defensively behind the plate.
Most certainly does. In fact, helps his Rams staff quite a bit.
Drilled past Baker into left field. Kind of a hanger there, and he drilled it past Doyle Baker. Doyle was playing way off the line there, and that ball a good 10 feet away from the bag out into the outfield. Jarvis came up and got it back in.
Rams doing something a little bit unusual down the first baseline. Jason Lunsford is warming up in the bullpen. He threw 7 full innings against the Shiloh Generals a couple of days ago, and you figure the Rams might want to save him in case they run into trouble against Winder Barrow tomorrow, but it's unusual that he's out there warming up.
Here's the first pitch, and it's a strike call. No balls and 1 strike to Brian Kenny, the center fielder for the Bulldogs. Barrett Tatum with a lead at first. Moon checks, throws over there, diving back in time. Stephen Hires makes the tag anyhow. Always a good idea to go ahead and make the tag. You never know, he might pull a hand off the base or something.
Stephen Hires well skilled in the fundamentals of the game, no doubt about that.
Snap throw this time, just back in time, is Tatum.
You know, Bill, sitting here thinking about the last time that the Rams and the Bulldogs played here at Riverside Park, it was a day a lot like this, very dreary, and the Rams won big 16-1, actually.
Here's the pitch, swinging down to Junior. He throws to second for 1, back to first. No, he pulled him off the bag. Almost a double play. The Rams did a great job at trying to turn 2 there. Stephen debated for a minute whether to touch the bag first, but instead he threw down to Matt Easterday at shortstop, and Matt made the turn, but Stephen really wasn't back in position in time to receive the throw. So I think the throw was good enough to get there. I don't think Stephen has feet quite right.
Yeah, and you really can't assume a double play on a situation like that. So it's a fielder's choice with Tatum retired 3-6 at second base, and with 2 down, here Ryan Moon will be facing Jesse Thompson. And David Bell had a few words for the base umpire. I wonder if something happened at second base, maybe a runner went in and some words were exchanged there.
Could be. It looked like the runner was pretty close to Matt when he was trying to unleash it. That's probably one of the toughest double plays to turn, particularly with a right-handed first baseman, that 3-6-3, and the Rams almost pulled it. The throw got there in time. He would have been out. Here's the pitch. There's a shot down the line. Oh, and just foul, as Jesse Thompson, the designated hitter, turned on a Ryan Moon pitch and drilled it down the line.
Jesse Thompson, a couple of years ago, was playing in the Dixie Boys State Tournament, to give you an idea of how young this Rockdale team is. He was one of the stars for them in their action in the tournament.
Here's the next one to him, and that ball's chopped down to Doyle at third. Long throw, it's in the dirt, and Hires with a big dig, and he got him. So Doyle, once again, having a little problem with the throw, but this time Stephen Hires with a big play and kept his foot on the bag. So the Rams managed to keep the Bulldogs off the scoreboard in the third. They did get 1 hit, no runs. There were no Ram errors, and 1 runner left on base. We head now to the bottom of the third, only 1 inning away from the Hard Luck Cafe wing-ding inning. This is Newton Ram Baseball on, yes, you're right, WGFS AM 1430.
Did you know that termites cause more damage to homes annually than fires, floods, and natural disasters combined? To protect your home from termites and other pests, call Cleary Exterminating, 786-4937. They'll send them packing. Termites and beetles, fleas, rats and mice, roaches and ants. Commercial or residential, we can help get rid of what bugs you. Call Cleary Exterminating on Highway 278 in Covington, 786-4937. At Cleary Exterminating, we make mouse calls.
If you're age 60 or better, Newton Federal has created benefits especially for you. Our Now Interest checking account pays current market interest on your entire checking balance, not just part of it, if you maintain a $100 balance. And we offer it to our 60-plus customers with no minimum balance requirements and no monthly maintenance fees. Talk with us today at Newton Federal Savings and Loan, FDIC insured. After all, you deserve the best.
We're back from Riverside Park and Newton High School, bringing you the Newton Rams and Rockdale Bulldogs sub-region action. If the Rams can hang on here, they'll go to 11-3 and 3-0 in sub-region play. Of course, a big part of that will be continued run support, and Bill Dolan will help to bring you the Newton Rams bottom of the third.
Thank you, Kevin Holden, and Grant Traylor will work his first full inning in relief for the Bulldogs. He faced 1 batter and didn't exactly fool Richie Cleary, as Richie hit a 350-foot fly ball, unfortunately to dead center field. But Britt Mask will lead it off. He'll be followed by Doyle Baker and Jarvis Johnson in the bottom of the third inning. Traylor's first pitch to Mask. comes inside, brushes him off the plate. We were informed that this is the only senior on Rockdale's team, so they are definitely in a rebuilding youthful year, so maybe next year could be a better year for them. Mass chases after the high heat and comes up empty.
Britt Mass takes some big cuts up there at home plate, and you know he's doing his best to try to help out his stats.
Here's the 1-1 way outside. Britt really hoping to get hot so he can really start smoking.
Then he can look at the rest of his teammates and say, somebody stop me.
Here's the pitch. Up high for a ball. 3-1 the count now to Britt Mass. A lot of fans on hand here for these Rams. Here's the 3-1 way outside, and Britt will take a stroll down to first base.
Tell you this much about Britt Mask. He's been good on the on-base side of things. Coming into this game, an .071 average, but his on-base over 400. Several walks to his credit, 3 to be exact. He's been hit by a pitch a couple of times, so he's had no trouble getting on base. It's just the hits that have been the problem.
Well, he's hit a few atom balls. He's hit some real rockets that have been right at people.
And for the third time in this game, we're in the third, Bill, and for the third time, Bryce Avery has trotted to first base to run for someone. This time it's Mask he's running for. And I have a feeling this has to do with the fact that a righty's in, because Mask was hitting with the left-hander starting, but since a right-handed pitcher has come back in, Avery will pinch run and likely stay in and DH now.
That could be. That might be the swap there. In fact, I would think that's probably a pretty good guess. Here's Doyle Baker. Doyle walked his first time and scored a run. Grant Traylor, we haven't been able to tell too much about him yet because he gave up a long fly to Richie and he's walked Britt Mass, so not a real great start, so to speak. Doyle hoping to get turned around here. Looking for something to hit. Throw over to first and down the right field line. And here goes Avery. He's going to round second and head for third. Here's the throw, and he is safe. Boy, did you see him shift gears just after he came around second and saw Coach Brassfield tell him, you better get down here?
Bill, I wish you could have seen him hit a ball down the right field line. I think it was against Brookwood about a week ago. Hit the ball down the right field line. For most people, a single, perhaps a double. From the second he got out of the batter's box, you could tell from up here, he had extra special speed. He got thrown out by about a half step at third.
Well, he slowed down and almost stopped going into second until he got the sign from Coach Brassfield. And when he did, you could just see him kind of shift that gear again. Just unbelievable, pure, raw speed. And he was in there a lot. I thought it was going to be closer than what it was. And Doyle Baker takes ball 3 up high. As Grant Traylor not having to make that ball 2, not having a whole lot of luck with the strike zone. 2-0 the count, runner down at third. Traylor stretches, and here's the pitch. Swing and fouled right back here. Get the net, Kevin. Oh, it's just by us.
A little up above us, and we've had a couple of shots here to catch some foul balls, and perhaps we'll get our chance before the year's over with. Of course, the Rams, unless they make it to the state tournament, don't have a tremendous number of home games left. They've used up 3 of their 6 home games in the sub-region. They only have 4 more home games in the regular season.
So I guess a lot of fans will have to listen to us on the road broadcast.
That's right. We'll be bringing them to you.
Baker swings and rips it. And that makes the count now 2 balls and 2 strikes. We're in the bottom of the third inning. The Rams on top 7-1. And we're joined in the box by a Newton High alumni, so to speak. Mr. Sam Allen has joined us in the box. And Baker skies it down the right field line. That ball heading out of play. And the first baseman just about kills himself on the gate. Fortunately, it was unlocked and came open.
Curtis Beddington literally opened the gate down there by himself, leaning up against it, going after that foul ball. And in just a moment, I'll give the headset to Sam. You can talk to him between pitches here.
I was listening to you the other day, Kevin. You were talking about the postseason that Sam had 2 years ago in the state playoffs. Probably hit a streak where, like you said, we've never seen a hitter in a groove like that. Everything he hit was just drilled to that left center field gap. Baker readies. 2-2 the count. Avery off third. Here's the pitch. swinging a shot to right center field. That's a base hit. Avery will score. Baker rounds first. He's going to try for second. Here's the throw. He is safe.
The double for Doyle Baker and going to the off field to do it. A very important thing for Baker, and almost all the Rams are hitting to right field very well. A lot of the right-handed batters have learned the discipline of going the other way. They've got 8 runs on the scoreboard.
Good job of hitting there by Doyle Baker. Pitch outside. He laced it right over the second baseman's head. Ball did not get by the outfielders, but he was going the whole way. Good aggressive base running. Coach John Shepard had him going, and Doyle beat the throw in there easily. No long skids out there at second, a la the Sam Allen meter, though.
Rams continue to ring up Rockdale pitching there with the double.
And Jarvis Johnson steps to the plate. He had that fine sacrifice bunt his last time up. Baker leads away from second. Jarvis calls time, steps out, and we lost our visitor.
Yeah, Sam Allen disappeared on us. I was going to give him the headset, but if he doesn't want it just yet, I'll keep it.
Here's the pitch to Jarvis, up high and away. Ball 1 to count. Nobody out here in the bottom half of the third inning. Rams on top 8-1. Doyle Baker with a ringing double to right center, so to speak. Jarvis Johnson would like to ring another run up here. Here's the pitch. Up high for a ball, 2-0. Rockdale pitchers have had trouble throwing strikes when it comes right down to it, Kevin.
That's the truth. Same thing with the Shiloh Generals, and the Rams, of course, put a lambasting on them. Same reason.
Rams really not with a ton of base hits to have 8 runs already.
They have 3. 3 hits.
Here's the pitch to Jarvis. Swing and foul down the left field line and backing out of play.
They scored 3 on 1 hit in the first and 4 on 1 hit in the second.
And they've got 1 hit here in the third.
And 1 run. And that was a person who was walked. In fact, of the 8 runs that have come around to score, sitting here and counting it right now, 5 of them were people who were walked who came around.
That normally kills you.
Every person who has been walked in this game has come around to score. At least for the Newton Rams it has. Rams haven't walked a Rockdale batter yet.
And Jarvis takes another pitch up high. 3-1 the count. Grant Traylor not having any more success throwing the ball over the plate than did his predecessor, Corey Blackman. Jarvis looking for something he can rip here. 3-1 the count. Here it comes. Ball 4 as it's up high and away. Rams with runners on first and second now. And I'm going to be joined now in the booth by a good friend of mine, Mr. Sam Allen. Sam, good to see you again.
Good to see you too, Bill.
Rams looking pretty good early on here today.
Yeah, they are. They're looking pretty good. They hit the ball real well.
Doing some things right, too. Kind of strange seeing Ryan Moon pitching. That's something
I know.
I'm having trouble getting used to, but he's doing a real good job today so far.
He's doing real good.
Matt Easterday steps up and takes a pitch inside. Matt grounded out his first time and took a walk and scored his last time up to the plate. Matt settled down and playing a pretty good, steady shortstop. He's done some pitching this year too, Sam. I don't know how many of the games you've been able to catch.
Yeah, I came down to practice one day and I got to bat against him. They were throwing BP.
There's a shot right back to the mound, and he throws over to first base. Obviously, not thinking too much about what the situation was. With nobody out, had plays at third or second, and only threw over to first base. Not a real good fundamental play there, Sam.
Yeah, when we play Rockdale, we usually did have a good game against them. They're not really sound. They have had some good players in the past.
He didn't even make a move towards any of the bases. He acted like there were 2 outs or whatever, and he just threw the ball over to first base. So almost like a sacrifice in effect for the Rams, as both runners move up. Now Moon with a chance to drive a couple home. Here's a pitch, swinging that ball skied a mile high, but backhand, that'll fall out of play harmlessly, unfortunately for the Ram pitcher. Well, do things look the same as you come back and look over the field and everything, Sam?
Yeah, it looks pretty good out here. The Rams are having a real good year. I'm glad. I'm happy for them.
Let's talk a little bit about that 2 years ago. And that have you ever had a string in your whole life of playing where everything was sweet like that?
Never. I loved it.
I mean, when you came to the bat, everything you saw must have just looked like it was a beach ball coming up there.
It was fat. Everything was fat. I was in a groove. I was seeing the ball well, and I was just driving. I don't know.
have everything to left center too, because you had a couple of dings and a couple off the wall out there, and just really hitting the ball well. It really got into a groove. Plus, you were playing some good, solid defense too. In that year, the Rams almost won the state tournament. They came real close until they went to Evans.
Yeah, that's something somebody never forget. Something like that.
And that pitch high and away to Ryan Moon. 1-1 to count now to the Ram pitcher. Rams on top 8-1 with a chance to score more here. Grant Traylor is the pitcher for the Bulldogs. He looks in to get his sign from Shane Kenny. Moon waits for one to hit. Here it comes. Swing and a shot foul down the right field line.
To get cut.
1-2 the count now. Ryan doesn't get fooled too often up there. He gets his cuts and done a good job this year. He's came into the game hitting close to 400.
Yeah, he's a good ball player. I expect to see him going places next year. He's good defensive. He's got a good bat. He's pitching now too.
Infield in for the Bulldogs, so that helps Ryan Moon at the plate. Here's the pitch to him. Oh, a slow breaking ball. Moon really bailed out there. He's fortunate it didn't drop a little more, because he could have been rung up there. 2-2 the count now. If that thing would have had any bite to it at all, it would have punched him out, because it really had Ryan fooled.
The pitcher left it up, luckily for Ryan.
Of course, if Moon had seen it that way, he could have lost it a hanger that bad. Here's the 2-2.
Yeah.
Swinging a base hit to center field. One run he'll score. Here's Jarvis, and he'll hold up. So a ringing single to right center field by Ryan Moon. He just kind of served it out to right center there. Good job of hitting. Took the pitch and easily driving in a run, and Jarvis Johnson held at third on the play. Ram runners now at the corners. Ryan Moon at first. Jarvis down at third. And here comes a courtesy runner in for Moon. Looks like it's going to be Shane Ballard coming in to run. So Shane getting a chance to play today.
They're going to call him, Bill. They're going to call him Tabasco Man after the incident between the games of the South Metro Finals.
Some interesting things happened between those games there. Coach Brassfield's birthday, where he received the birthday cake.
His quote birthday.
When it wasn't really his birthday. And Stephen Hires up to the plate now. Chance to do more damage. Here's the pitch, and that's high and away for a ball. These Ram hitters have become a little more patient at the plate, Sam. They wait for the pitch, and they're not afraid to go the other way with it.
Yeah.
You know, they've got some guys that can turn and really yank it, but they've become a good, smart-hitting team.
Yeah, Stephen's starting to remind me a lot of his two brothers.
Swinging a shot to center field. Kenny on his horse gets it, and Jarvis will stroll home. Credit a sacrifice fly for Stephen Hires. He drilled that ball on a line to center field. Once again to the deepest part of the park, straightaway center field. Brian Kenny went back and slipped, almost falling down, but did manage to make a good catch, and another run for the Rams. That makes the score now 9-1. Or I'd make that 10-1. Rams have hit into double figures again. Long time since they've done that. And here's somebody you know a little bit about.
Yes, sir.
Luke Allen to the plate. Here's the pitch to Luke. Swing and a miss. That ball back to the backstop. And Shane Ballard will stroll into second base on the wild pitch.
Yeah, I'd like to see little Luke get a hold of one right here.
Well, we were talking about that earlier, Sam. Kevin and I were. Luke has yet to hit a dang this year, and I'll tell you one thing, he's doing a lot better this year than he did last year, particularly against the Southpaws. He's really hanging in there better. I'm sure you remember last year he had a little problem where he was bailing out, and just was really pretty much helpless against the lefties late in the season. And he's done a much better job, and it's shown in his overall average. And he got a kind of a cheap RBI his last at bat, walked with the bases loaded, but heck, an RBI is an RBI, right?
They're going to put you on, take it.
And anything to help the team.
He's worked real hard. I've worked with him too, and he's going to, that not bailing out against those Southpaws is really going to help him out in the long run.
Luke drills it to the first baseman. He comes up with it. Oh, look what I got, and walks over and steps on the bag. Curtis Beddington, kind of almost a snow cone, but he did come up with it. Speaking of coming up with it, the Rams came up with 3 runs in that inning on only 2 base hits. There was one error, and they left one runner on base. We head now to the top of the fourth inning. Your score is Newton 10, Rockdale 1. This is Newton Ram Baseball on WGFS AM 1430.
Bulldog Tire Company is your complete car care center. They take off tires, wheels, have wheel alignment, tune-ups, brake service, road and farm service, radiator repair, wrecker service, and much, much more. That's Bulldog Tire Company. Talk to owner Tommy Coker at 787-6030, 787-6030. Bulldog Tire Company, 4108 Elm Street in Covington. Bulldog Tire Company.
The best money manager around is a checking account from the Bank of Covington. It's easy to keep track of your income and all your expenses with your checkbook and the detailed monthly statements we send you. It lets you see where you might save money, and it really helps in balancing your budget. If you're not already enjoying such financial assistance, learn all the advantages of a personal checking account at one of the convenient Bank of Covington locations. The Bank of Covington, member FDIC.
AM 1430 WGFS, welcome back to Riverside Park. Kevin Holden, Bill Dolan bringing you live play-by-play action. The Rams taking it to the Rockdale Bulldogs right now. It's 10-1, the Rams lead as we go to the fourth. Bill Dolan, give us our play-by-play. Sorry, I'm thinking about a half inning from now.
Thank you, Kevin Holden. We've got a few defensive changes for the Newton Rams. Stepping behind the plate now will be Lane Floyd. Matt Vaughn goes in at shortstop. Let's see if we got any other changes. Looks like Josh Millwood will be out in right field. Richie Cleary's moved over to center field. And the wily, crafty lefty, believe it or not, Jason Lunsford's out in left field. So I guess he was warming up to go in. Jason Lunsford out in left field.
Joe Brassfield up by 9 here, deciding to give some of the second-team players who don't get a lot of chance to play, get them some experience, because you never know when you might need players like this down the stretch. Someone gets hurt, and all of a sudden you need a Matt Vaughn or a Lane Floyd or a Jason Lunsford to come out and play. So wise move here.
Of course, that may upset some people. Next inning being the Hard Luck Cafe Wing Ding inning, we're going to have some different people hitting.
Oh, no, and the scorebook's going to look horrible by the time we hit it. In fact, let's see, next inning, right now, it looks like it'll be Floyd, Cleary, and your guess is as good as mine on that number 7 spot.
And Sam Allen leaving us. Sam, thanks for stopping by and chatting with us. Come by anytime. Always good to see the man who invented the slide-o-meter.
Wow. 15-foot head first slides, and one of the things I liked best about Sam Allen's high school career, the thing that always hit me about his high school career that I'll always take with me, was the doubleheader at Evans. The Rams trailing 11-1 in the second straight game, and he's screaming from his third base position, just as always, doing everything possible to upset the opponents. And, of course, our press box was right up over third base, so you could always hear Sam from the press box.
Here's the pitch to Frazier, and Ryan Moon bounces it up there. I'm sure Coach Brassfield would love to get a complete game out of Ryan Moon here and hold off. He had some of his starters rested, but went with Ryan Moon today, probably in a good move due to the fact with the tough games coming up. So you can probably bet on Wednesday to see Richie Cleary go against Parkview, I would think.
Yeah, Luke Allen will probably start tomorrow. He's only thrown 9 innings in the last 18 days, Luke has, so look for him to go tomorrow against Winder.
And now Ryan Moon falls behind in the count. 3-0 to Derek Frazier. Here's the next one. And ball 4 up high. So Moon gets the 10-1 lead and immediately walks the leadoff hitter. That'll drive a coach crazy.
Certainly will. In fact, here's the oddest part about it, Bill. It's the first man that he's put on first base via the walk. And it comes here at this circumstance, which I guess is a little better than putting someone on when it's 1-1 or 1-0, but still, at any time you don't want to put the leadoff man on. Here, if you're the Rams, just throw strikes and the defense will do the rest. If they score a couple of runs, it only dents the lead.
And to throw over to first base and back in time. Shane Kenny, the backstop for the Rockdale Bulldogs, up to the plate. He's got to be a little tired all the digging out of the dirt he's done. Here's the pitch, and there's a strike called. Good to see him get back on track. Rams up by 9. We're in the fourth inning. Bottom of the fourth will bring the Hard Luck Cafe wing ding inning. Somebody could win 100 hot wings. Snap throw to first in the dirt, and a good stop by Frazier, the runner, as the ball hit him in the leg. He got past first baseman Stephen Hires, but hit the runner, so thank you very much.
So Frazier keeps himself from advancing that time. It isn't the Rams that do it, as that ball was in the dirt. Hires couldn't make the play, but Frazier couldn't see it as he was going back.
Here's the pitch, and that's a breaking ball down in the dirt. Good stop by Lane Floyd. Floyd, another catcher that has all the defensive tools behind there. And you really don't lose much defensively when he steps behind the plate. You like the leadership that Chris Middlebrooks as the senior gives you and everything, but Lane Floyd, quite a good defensive catcher in his own right and an excellent hitter.
The Rams will not miss much. Next year, of course, as you mentioned, they'll miss Middlebrooks and the presence that he brings, but as far as the pure stuff out there at catcher, Lane Floyd will continue the fine tradition of catchers the Rams have had here.
Here's the next pitch by Moon. Swing, and a foul tip as it went off of Floyd's glove back to the backstop.
This goes all the way back to 1992 when the Rams had probably one of the best platoons of catchers you'll find in Richie Blankenship and Jay Beist. And of course, the next year, a sophomore by the name of Brian Moon took over and had 3 years in the sun here at Newton High School. He is, of course, on to Southern Union College, and this year Middlebrooks gets his chance, and starting next year, Lane Floyd will have his.
1 ball and 2 strikes the count, and the hitter steps out as Ryan Moon took just a little bit too long. The lights have come on here at Riverside Park, as it is starting to get a little overcast. Here's the pitch, fouled back to the screen on a big cut by Shane Kenny.
Kenny is staying alive up there and doing a good job, doing exactly what you want to do when the opposing team is just throwing you strikes. Right now, the Rams concentrating on throwing strikes, and if you're Rockdale, of course, go up hacking. No reason to take pitches.
Moon working quickly, brings the next one, and strike 3 off-speed pitch, paralyzed Kenny, and he's rung up on strikes. And I believe that's the first strikeout for Ryan Moon this afternoon. Kind of a really slow, looked more like a Jason Lunsford offering.
Yeah, it sure did. Lunsford was probably proud from his position in left field. In fact, Moon, after walking his first man, strikes out his first man. So an unusual back-to-back combination, the likes of which we haven't seen.
And Curtis Beddington, the big first baseman for the Bulldogs, and he's a pretty good-sized fellow, steps up to the plate and takes a strike call, a fastball on the outside corner. Unusual lineup out there for the Rams right now, but it's good to see him getting some playing time. Snap throw to first. He's back in time.
Bill, I bet the person who's doing the most adjusting right now is center fielder Richie Cleary, who is a big guy, has some speed certainly, but he's going to have a different angle of balls off the bat. He's used to playing either left or right.
Runners going. Pitch foul. Kind of unusual, down 9 runs to center runner. It looked like maybe they're trying to get something going with a hit and run or something there, but unsuccessful as Beddington fouled it back. And of course, Richie's going to have a lot of ground to cover because Jason on one side and Josh on the other side, not exactly the most experienced out there, so you can bet if Richie's going to have to try to eat up a lot of ground on something hit in between. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. Go sit down, you're out of here. And now Ryan Moon decides he's Nolan Ryan instead of Ryan Moon as he comes in with the heater inside and blows away Curtis Beddington.
So he turns from a John Tudor type into a Nolan Ryan type here, as all of a sudden we have a walk and 2 strikeouts, and coming in the first 3 innings we'd seen nary a walk or a strikeout.
And Art Lilliander, the third baseman, steps up. He takes a pitch up high for a ball.
Yeah, Cleary's going to have to take charge in center field, though, on a lot of those balls that are hit. And if you're used to playing left or right and having someone else take charge, that might be a problem later on.
Yeah, it really can, because Richie's usually used to hearing the other center fielder. Runner's going, and Lane pops it up to himself and unable to make a throw. Really no real harm there. In fact, you almost would rather the pitcher not pay that much attention with a 9-run lead, just bear down and get the hitter here. That was a good pitch just off the strike zone, though. So 2-0 the count. You just want him to concentrate on the hitter right now. Here's the 2-0. Swing and a miss. And he was really overmatched there. Lilliander nowhere near that pitch. I don't know if he was expecting something a little more off speed or what, but he was way behind that fastball. 2-1, 2 out. Moon from the belt. Here's the pitch. Strike. Got a beauty on the outside corner. Moon works inside, works outside, moving the ball around. Seems though the coaches have worked with his pitching staff a little bit. Between the last couple outings of Jason Lunsford, now Ryan Moon working the corners. 2-2. Here it comes. Oh, and what a meek, weak swing as he just dribbled it back to the screen. Lilliander fooled completely, but just managed to dribble it foul.
And with 2 strikes here and 2 down, Ryan Moon will have the chance to strike out the side, which might surprise him as much as anyone. He came in with 5 strikeouts in 8 innings in his first 2 appearances.
2-2 the count. 2 outs. The runner leads from second. Moon gets his sign from Lane Floyd. Here it comes. Just a little bit outside, and Moon stared in. He wanted that call. Thought he had him. I thought he had him too, Kevin Holden.
I think a lot of people at Riverside Park thought that Moon had thrown strike 3 there, but you know that Ryan Moon was one of them when he got the ball back, kept it, froze it there for a few seconds, glaring in.
Here's the pitch. Popped up right back here. It's coming at us. Get the net. Well, we would have needed a little longer than that, I guess.
That one was about 15 feet in front of us, but...
Actually, that was the angle we need.
Right, it was straight up in the air, not a really hard hit ball, it just didn't come back far enough. If it had come back another 10 or 15 feet, maybe we could have reached out with the net and had ourselves a foul ball.
That's right. We keep hoping one of these days we'll get one, right? Almost time for the Hard Luck Cafe. Wing ding inning. Somebody could win how many hot wings, Kevin Holden?
100 for a home run in the bottom half of this inning.
3-2 the count. Moon from the belt. Here's the pitch. Ball 4. I thought it was ball 4. Lilliander stood at the plate. Finally, the umpire told him to go ahead and go to first base.
Lilliander must have thought the count was 2-2. The scoreboard did read 3-2, and that was ball 4. David Bell is having a discussion with the home plate umpire, and we see a batter coming in for Corey Blackman. Butch Kelly going to be the pinch hitter.
Okay.
Happened to know him from a few years back. We don't have a roster here in the press box, but Butch Kelly was a big part of a Southern Rockdale All-Star team that made it to Texarkana, Arkansas in the World Series a few years back. He's grown a lot and lost some weight since then, but he was quite a hitter.
And he's pinch hitting here now for Corey Blackman. Or actually, would that be Grant Traylor's spot?
Yeah, it's his spot.
That ball's drilled to deep center field. Luke going back. Willie back, going back. It's off the wall. 1 run will score. Here comes another run. He'll score. And that may be one of the longest singles you'll ever see, as Butch Kelly is still standing at first base on a ball that hit off the base of the wall in straight center field.
Well, if you know what happened, Butch Kelly rounded first base so emphatically that he fell flat on his back at first base and scrambled to his feet. Took him a long time to get up, but I told you he could hit. I'd seen him in the past. I know the young man can hit the ball. That was about a 357-foot shot.
That ball was drilled, really drilled, as he nailed it. And Corey Holcomb steps to the plate. And the score suddenly 10-3 now. Ryan Moon checks the runner. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Well, once again, what does the base on balls do to you?
2 walks in this inning, the first 2 from Ryan Moon, and they've
Both
come around to score.
Corey Holcomb, 0 for 1 on the night. Takes a pitch down low for a ball. He grounded back to Ryan Moon his first time up. Kind of a strange looking play. Looked almost like a pop-up. Kelly gets a short lead at first. Here's a pitch for Moon. Down to Vaughn at second. Quickly over to Smith at second for the force, and the Rams get out of it with minimal damage. Although the Rockdale Bulldogs do score 2 runs, they did so on only 1 base hit. There were no Ram errors and 1 runner left on base. When we come back in the bottom of the 4th inning, 2 things for you. We got the Hard Luck Cafe Wing Ding inning, and Kevin Holden will be taking over the play-by-play. At this point in time, though, the Rams still on top, 10-3. Newton Ram Baseball on WGFS AM 1430.
The Toro Wheel Horse XL Series lawn tractors have a lot of big features, and one small one, the price. For as little as $1,499 at Coast to Coast Home and Auto, you could be driving one this season. These Toro Wheel Horse lawn tractors are available with tilt steering, step-through design, and recycler mowing decks. Some have shiftless hydrostatic drive transmissions, and Toro Wheel Horse stands behind these tractors with their 2-year total coverage guarantee. Get the details at Coast to Coast Home and Auto today. Has there ever been a better time to buy a Toro Wheel Horse tractor or riding mower? Here at Coast to Coast Home and Auto, we say the answer is no. Why? Because right now, qualified buyers can purchase any Toro riding mower or tractor with no money down, no payments, and no interest until October 1st, 1996. Take advantage of our special limited time offer at Coast to Coast Home and Auto, where we have a complete line of Toro Wheel Horse riding mowers. No money down, no payments, and no interest till next October. But hurry, this offer ends May 31st.
What's the crowd favorite at parties any time of the year? Why, it's hot wings from the Hard Luck Cafe. With flavors ranging from extra mild to TNT, they can placate any palate. There are 3 convenient locations to serve you, one in Madison, one in Conyers, and the original Little Red Building in Covington. So stop by for the best hot wings around, or call ahead so your order will be ready when you get there. In Covington, the number is 787-0421. That's 787-0421.
And welcome back to Riverside Park, Newton Ram baseball. Rams on top, 10-3. And yes, indeed, it's the bottom of the 4th. It's time for the Hard Luck Cafe Wing Ding inning. And here to tell you about it and bring you with the play-by-play the rest of the way, the other half of the dynamic duo, Kevin Holden.
Okay, Bill Dolan, thank you very much. Here in the bottom half of the 4th, we start with Lane Floyd, and we start with a scorebook that is going to look pretty messy by the time it's over with. Lane Floyd in the wing ding inning is hitting for Chris Middlebrooks, not Chris Middlebrooks being the contestant, but Middlebrooks was removed in the top half of the inning. So Floyd is hitting, and the person he's hitting for is Bonnie Smith, who sent in an entry to the WGFS studios. Bonnie Smith lives on Salem Road, and she'll have a chance to win 100 hot wings from the Hard Luck Cafe. And Bill, I understand Derek Frazier is in the game as the pitcher, and Grant Traylor is in right field now.
No, it looks like
Corey Blackman may be in right field as a left-hander out there, right?
No, is that's the guy that hit the long single, I think, isn't that?
That's Butch Kelly. Okay.
Butch Kelly in right field.
Had trouble seeing him through the glass here. So it's Kelly in right and Derek Frazier on the mound.
Derek Frazier never quite has lived up to the reputation of his brother. He's a hard thrower, but probably about 5 to 10 miles an hour off the fastball of his brother.
He winds. His 1-0 offering is inside 2-0, so 2 pitches and 2 misses here from Derek Frazier. The Wing Ding inning, sponsored by the Hard Luck Cafe, chance for 100 hot wings. Of course, somebody has to go yard to do it. Rams haven't done it in several games. Frazier winds, brings it home, inside ball 3, so like the 2 pitchers before him, Blackman and Traylor, Frazier comes out having trouble finding the plate.
And a good man standing on deck for the Wing Ding inning to face a fastball pitcher.
That's Richie Cleary. 3-0. Strike called inside corner. It's 3-1.
Lane Floyd has the power. I've seen him bounce a couple off the wall last year while on the junior varsity. So if he gets a fastball to his liking, I'm sure he could drive it to right field.
3-1 almost hit him inside ball 4. So the Rams have the first man on via the free pass. Sorry, Bonnie Smith, you're not a winner in the Wing Ding inning, but Matt Birch has the chance to be. Matt can grin from ear to ear right now because Richie Cleary comes up and hits for him. And a couple of factors going in your favor right now, Matt. First of all, Cleary's 0 for 2, and he is due, having been in a slump for a while. Only has 2 homers to his credit this year. The other, Derek Frazier likes to throw the fastball.
And Richie Cleary drilled a 350-foot fly ball earlier in this game, so he's close.
Wind in the pitch. Cleary thought about it, and he swings and misses. Ball gets away from the catcher. Floyd will go down to second base. But Richie Cleary, for a moment there, we thought was trying to go to left field.
And they're ruling that was a foul tip, so Lane Floyd will have to go back to first base.
Cleary just barely got a piece of that. We couldn't even hear that from up here.
Looked like he missed it. I was surprised when I saw the runner going back.
After Cleary, we'll check and see who's on deck in a moment. Throw to first base. Back in there is Floyd. That's Brendan Smith on deck. Smith will get a chance, I guess, here to hit for himself. He's been playing second base and having been DH'd for throughout the game. Pitch is in the dirt, ball one. I understand now Avery pinch running for Mask, because if you remove your DH, I think he's gone from the game. And that's what they did when they put Avery in for Mask. So Avery was in just for the pinch running, and so Smith will get a chance to hit for himself. Stretch and the pitch, fastball outside. It's 2 balls, 1 strike to Richie Cleary.
Definitely a count to work in Big Richie's favor. Derek Frazier hasn't thrown anything but a fastball, and Richie needs to just look for one on the inside part of the plate that he can drive.
Stretch and the pitch, fastball, swung on and missed, snap throw to first base. They don't get him there. It's 2-2, and Cleary once again with the big cut.
A little over anxious, that pitch up in his eyes, and he went up hacking at that pitch that looks so good but that is almost impossible to hit.
He slipped because he touched first and landed about 5 steps toward right field, and that's what kept him at first base. That's what kept Kelly there. So Frazier takes a look now at second. Stretches, brings it home. Cleary pops one up. Could be back this way. Catcher gives chase. It's about a foot behind the screen out of play, and Shane Kenny bounced up against that screen and fell right down. So he'll be helped to his feet by his Rockdale teammates, but credit Kenny with the good effort there.
That young man's going to have some sore bones after this game tonight. All the bounced pitches, and now he was going full tilt when he hit the fence there. Fortunately, it's got a little bit of a pad on it, but that's still a fence, and that still had to hurt.
Runner at second, nobody out. The Rams could end this game in 5 innings, of course. There's a run rule, a blowout rule. Rams lead by 7 right now. It's 10-3. Richie Cleary with a count of 2-2 and no one out. Floyd takes his lead away. Stretch from Frazier is pitch, fastball in the dirt. Kenny with another good stop. Count runs full. Matt Birch, our contestant in the Wing Ding inning, and if you'd like to become a part of the Hard Luck Cafe Wing Ding inning, of course, we need a 3x5 note card. That'll suffice fine, or one of the entries that we have in the newspaper with your name, address, and phone number on it. We'll tell you what to do with that thing in a moment. Frazier taking a look in. A payoff pitch is due to Cleary, and here it is. Fastball swung on and hit hard to center field and high. Brian Kenny is back, though. Won't have the distance. He'll make the catch. So that's the first out, and Cleary got under it just a little bit, Bill. I thought we might have 100 hot wings going to Matt Birch there.
He got it, but you could tell as soon as he hit it that it was just a little bit high, unfortunately. So no winner there.
And Brandon Smith is going to be hitting for Stan Allen, who lives in Covington. And so Smith, who was originally being DH'd for by Britt Mask, and once Mask was removed, the DH was as well. Smith will hit for himself here. And there's a little bit of a discrepancy with the home plate umpire who doesn't have his lineup set. And Coach Brassfield's explaining the situation that we just explained to you. So if you want to become a part of the Wing Ding inning, you can either send the entries to WGFS, the Wing Ding inning, P.O. Box 869, Covington, Georgia, 30210. You can also drop it by our studios at 1151 Hendricks Street in downtown Covington. Fax us an entry, 784-9892. How else can they get us an entry?
They can take an entry by the Hard Luck Cafe and give it to Randy, and he'll make sure we get it. Or if you see Kevin Holden or Bill Dolan anywhere, hand it to him. We'll make sure it gets put into the till, and we're going to do this all the way through the rest of the regular season, hopefully through region playoffs and maybe even into the state tournament.
Cross your fingers if they make it that far. Of course, we'll have the Wing Ding inning every time that we take the airwaves to bring you Newton Ram baseball. Now, we have not had a winner yet this year, Bill, but that doesn't mean that the bats won't come back to life. The Rams hit four homers very early in the year, but then the bats, home run-wise, have gone silent since.
Brandon Smith, a good hitter, more of a singles-doubles type. I don't think Randy has to worry too much right now about the 100 hot wings.
Don't tell Stan Allen that. He's our contestant. He's out there hoping for 100 hot wings. Smith swings a big rip and lines one down the right field line, foul, 0-1. I think Smith was thinking about a big one there.
Maybe he heard us and knew the Wing Ding inning was on. That name sounds familiar, that Stan Allen. Can't place it, though.
Big follower of the Ram program, if I'm not mistaken. Stretch and the pitch, curveball up high, ball 1.
Is that the first pitch we've seen Mr. Frazier throw that wasn't 80-plus miles an hour?
Got to think for a second. I think that was the first off-speed he's thrown, and he's faced now 3 batters here. Stretch, Frazier brings home a fastball, but it's outside. So it's 2-1. After Brandon Smith is Doyle Baker. No, that's Shane Ballard, who was on the on-deck circle. So Ballard will hit for Baker. Floyd taking his lead, still at second with one down here. 2-1 pitch is outside, ball 3.
And Brandon Smith doing a good job of waiting on a pitch, making Frazier throw strikes. A lot of times a kid gets a chance to play and he gets up there and he's over anxious, but these Ram substitutes doing a good job of waiting for pitches.
And he waits for that one for ball 4. So another walk by Frazier here, and the Rockdale Bulldogs put another man on base via the base on balls. That is the 9th walk from Rockdale pitching. We are in the 4th, and that'll bring David Bell out to the mound.
And Shane Ballard will get a chance to hit. He's only swung the bat twice this year and struck out both times, so hopefully a little better results here.
Well, of course, he'll have a much hotter bat after that incident, as we mentioned before, in the South Metro Tournament. The Rams were treated to a dinner, to give you the details of this, at Ryan's Steakhouse between games of that South Metro Championship. They had beaten Salem and were on their way back to beat Columbia eventually, 7-5, and they had a chance to fill up on some steak and some other stuff at Ryan's Steakhouse. But while Ballard was away from his table, they decided to throw not a little but a lot of Tabasco sauce in his drink. And of course his drink, the way it looked, kind of masked the tobacco sauce. Didn't taste it, took a big gulp of it, and next thing we know, Shane Ballard's face was about as red as I've ever seen a face.
He was definitely hurting, no doubt about it. He was a good sport about it. I don't know if I would have been quite so kind as he was, but it had to hurt.
And Ballard hits for Crystal Hart, who lives in Covington on Highway 36. So Crystal, perhaps Shane Ballard has been saving a home run all this time, and he's hoping to unleash it right now. 10-3 is your score. The Rams lead. They scored 3 on 1 hit in the first, 4 on a single hit in the second, 3 on 2 hits in the third. 2 men on here with 1 out, Bill.
I happened to run into Shane's mom earlier this afternoon on my way over to the stadium, not literally like in the car or anything, and unfortunately they've had some deaths in the family. They're not able to be here, but she said they were going to be listening in between going to the funeral parlor and that, so hopefully she's listening now as Shane gets a chance to hit.
Ballard takes a cut, swings and fouls it back. It's 0-1. Shane Ballard, as you mentioned, has hit twice and has turned left and grabbed some bench twice.
Had a pretty good cut there at a Frazier fastball.
Lane Floyd leading away from second base. Brandon Smith is down at first. Pitch on the way. Another swing, another foul ball. Ballard is just a little bit behind the fastball from Frazier, but he's timing him well.
Getting some good cuts up there now. Probably real ripe for an off-speed pitch if Frazier can get one over. That's probably what you'd probably throw right now, wouldn't you, Kevin, as a crafty lefty, come in with a little off-speed junk?
I like it. The fact that I don't throw a fastball over 60 makes me crafty. Strike 3 call outside corner on the fastball. Got the neighborhood call, and Ballard goes down for out number 2.
Speaking of crafty lefties, up to the plate stands the ace of the Newton Rams staff.
The ace, because he's 4-0 right now with a save. It's Jason Lunsford. And if you weren't shocked enough, Jason Lunsford, as a left-handed thrower, bats from the right-hand side. Now, who would do something like that? Stretch. And the pitch to him, high, ball 1. Runner thinking about going to second. They throw down there, but the throw's a one-hopper, and Floyd slides back into the second base bag.
And the second baseman appears to have taken that bounce in the midsection area.
He's going to have to walk that one off for a little while. It might be Chris Meadows singing soprano in the next opera from the Rockdale Bulldogs.
And the umpire checks with him to see if he's okay, and he is. Jason Lunsford, last year leading hitter on the Rams, wasn't he? As he hit 500 for the season?
1 hit and 2 at-bats. That honor this year goes to Matt Vaughn, who is 1 out of 2, but has scored 5 runs nonetheless. Been caught stealing 3 times and has stolen 2 bases. Don't know how he's done all that in 2 at-bats. Actually, he's a courtesy runner a majority of the time. Stretch pitch to Lunsford is low, ball 2. Going back to throwing left-handed, batting right-handed, one of the rarest things you'll see. Very few people do that.
Well, particularly a pitcher doesn't want to bat with his pitching arm exposed to the pitcher. Kind of a Joaquin Andujar situation.
Yeah, Andujar.
Of course, Jason a lot more sane than Joaquin Andujar, of course.
I think almost everyone's a lot more sane than Joaquin Andujar. 2-0 pitch, high and outside, ball 3. So Lunsford, not swinging the bat, doesn't have to.
We forgot to say who he was hitting for.
Yeah, sorry about that. He's hitting for Almond Turner, who lives here in Covington, Georgia. The 3-0 pitch to Lunsford, outside ball 4. Sorry about it, Almond. We mentioned your name, and then he draws the base on balls. Third person that Frazier has walked here in this inning. So the bases will be loaded with 2 down. And it's going to bring up Matt Vaughn. Vaughn will hit for Tracy Harper, who lives on Dixie Trail in Covington. And with the bases being loaded, normally we would get extra excited, but a grand slam is worth the same, 100 hot wings. A grand slam, regardless of the circumstances, if a home run is hit and immediately the Rams load the bases and they hit a grand slam, it's 100 hot wings, regardless of what a regular home run is worth. But right now, anything's worth 100 hot wings.
You can do a lot with 100 hot wings.
No doubt about that.
You don't like those hot wings much, do you, Kevin?
Oh, I think I do quite a bit. Hot wings and chicken strips. In fact, I've got to admit, I swung by there before the game today for some chicken strips. Vaughn swinging a hard grounder past first, past second into right field. A base hit. 1 run will score. Being held at third base is Brandon Smith. It's 11-3 in favor of the Newton Rams. So credit Matt Vaughn with good hitting to the right side. Tracy Harper doesn't get any hot wings, but the Rams get a run.
And Matt Vaughn raises his average 167 points.
Yeah, he's at 667 now. He's cementing his lead on the team here with 2 hits and 3 at-bats now. Now here's Ryan Moon, who is hitting for Toby Boudreaux, who lives on Barrington Drive in Athens, Georgia. So the single here from Matt Vaughn drives in a run.
Good piece of hitting by Matt as he laced it through the hole into right field.
Moon takes the first pitch outside ball 1. We're trying to make the updates and corrections here in our scorebook. Moon has come to the plate in every inning. He takes another one outside, ball 2. Derek Frazier might be walking in a run here. Ryan Moon walked in the first, walked in the second, singled in the third. Had a courtesy runner for him all 3 times. And looking to reach base yet again. Here he swings and lines one hard but high down the right side and foul.
We were talking about some of Matt Vaughn's things, scoring 5 runs. Also the victim of a ruse in the Columbia game in the finals, as he was victimized by, what's that called, the Miami pickoff? Or it has some kind of name. It's a variation on the hidden ball trick, actually, is what it is.
Yeah, the pitcher fakes a pickoff throw to second base, and everyone acts as if he threw it into center field. When the runner runs, pitcher tags him out. There's a swing and a liner over the first baseman's head. That's another base hit. In to score on the play is Brandon Smith, and make the score 12-3 in favor of the Rams. Another base hit to the right side by a right-handed batter, Ryan Moon.
Ryan Moon having a great game today. That's his second hit of the ball game, plus he reached on free passes the first 2 times. And he's done a pretty good job of pitching, too, so. Doing a super job. The Rams starting to rack up the runs. They're up by 9 now. They need to get up at least 10 runs, I guess, for the slaughter rule to go into effect.
Right, it also has to be within 5 innings. You give 5 innings for that. Here's Stephen Hires. He is batting for Ted Cleary, who lives here in Covington. He takes a pitch, Hires does, for ball 1, I believe, outside. Ted Cleary could win 100 hot wings here if we could see a grand slam. The wind and the 1-0 pitch, outside ball 2. Frazier falling behind every hitter, going to the 2-0 counts, and that's what's causing the Rams to be able to take these pitches and get this clean, solid singles out of them.
Rams playing real smart, just trying to serve the ball out to the outfield, not trying to kill it.
The 2-0 is a strike on the outside corner. 2 balls, 1 strike. 2 down here. Rams lead by 9. They've scored 2 in this inning.
And finally, the Hard Luck Cafe, wingding inning, at least successful for scoring some runs. Last year, you remember, even though they didn't hit a lot of home runs in those innings, they had some big innings where they scored 5 and 6 runs a couple times.
Yeah, we'd had plenty of contestants, but only 1 winner last year. 2-1 pitch, a strike on the outside corner. Shane Kinney gives the sign. The 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Hires goes down, and so do the Newton Rams here, but they pick up another pair of runs. They do it via 2 base hits and 3 walks from Derek Frazier. The Rams left the bases loaded. So we head to the top half of the 5th inning. The Rams on top by 9 here. It's 12-3. Newton Ram baseball on WGFS AM 1430.
What's the crowd favorite at parties any time of the year? Why, it's hot wings from the Hard Luck Cafe. With flavors ranging from extra mild to TNT, they can placate any palate. There are 3 convenient locations to serve you, one in Madison, one in Conyers, and the original Little Red Building in Covington. So stop by for the best hot wings around or call ahead so your order will be ready when you get there. In Covington, the number is 787-0421. That's 787-0421.
At Hardy's Floor Covering and Supplies, we've got you covered with vinyl, wallpaper, carpet, wood, parquet, VCT tile, interior design service, carpet cleaning service, and blinds. They're the largest and most complete carpet store serving Newton, Rockdale, and Morgan counties, Lake Oconee, and surrounding areas. They specialize in residential and commercial flooring. Their professional carpet consultants and interior designer will bring samples to your home, take measurements, and quote you a price all in one visit. Call them, Hardy's Floor Covering and Supplies, 786-9245, 786-9245, or in Madison, 342-3869, 342-3869. Hardy's Floor Covering and Supplies.
And welcome back to Riverside Park as the skies have become overcast, but that hasn't silenced the Rams. They're on top 12-3 as we head to the top of the 5th inning. Here with the play-by-play, Mr. Kevin Holden.
Well, Bill Dolan, it looks like this. If the Rams can hold on, they'll go to 3-0 in sub-region play. Granted, they played their first 3 sub-region games right here at Riverside Park in the friendly confines, but nonetheless, they'll be 3-0 and a chance to go to 4-0 tomorrow against Winder.
That'll be a big game, and hopefully you'll be able to bring the play-by-play to the folks. If not, you'll certainly be calling in some inning-by-inning happenings from up there at Winder.
Barrett Tatum takes the first pitch low, ball 1, but we invite you to listen to WGFS. We'll be bringing you Braves baseball tomorrow afternoon. If we don't have the Rams, we'll bring you the Rams in between breaks of the Atlanta Braves. If that made any sense at all. The 1-0 pitch, low, ball 2.
Unfortunately, my schedule conflicts again, so I'll be unable to join you, Kevin, but I'm certainly looking forward to Wednesday from Parkview.
2-0 pitch, a strike on the outside corner, 2-1. Ryan Moon continues the good pitching. The Parkview game promises to be one of the better ones of the year up at Parkview, where the Rams lost, I think, 6-1 last time around. The wind. Ryan Moon gives the 2-1 home. It's a liner into right field, coming hard but not able to make the play is Josh Millwood. That's a base hit to start the inning here for Barrett Tatum. Now, Bill, last year when the Rams went to Winder Barrow, I had a schedule conflict and was unable to be with you, but it was a tremendous game.
It really was. The Rams got actually 3 home runs that game. They scored often and early, and Richie Cleary came in to shut the door, and that was the infamous game where the Winder Barrow Bulldogs with 2 G's were shouting Brookwood to Big Richie, and he got fired up and threw probably harder than I've ever seen him throw as he closed that game out.
The stretch. First pitch to Brian Kenny is up high, ball 1. Of course, they were referring to an earlier incident where Richie Cleary had blown the lead against the Broncos. He didn't do it this time against the Bulldogs. Once they fired him up, he was throwing the ball hard and nailed it down against Winder.
And also in that game, one of the few times you actually got to hear his name mentioned, a fine defensive play by Michael Dawson, right field, since Richie Cleary was pitching, as he made a great diving catch down the right field line. In fact, I saw Michael Dawson at one of the tournament games earlier this year, Kevin, and he mentioned that he's going to school and tried to walk on to play, but isn't playing this year, but hopes to next year maybe.
Grounder to first base. Stephen Hires got the out at second, but Vaughn's throw was a little bit low, so safe on the fielder's choice is Brian Kenny. 1 down. Out at second base is Tatum, 3-6. So it's good to hear another former Ram continuing up the ranks, or at least hoping to continue up the ranks.
Stephen looked really good turning on that play as he fielded the ball and got off a good throw, and Matt's throw just not quite there to get the runner, but Stephen looked even better on that one than he did on the previous one. No hesitation at all, so he just turned and gunned.
Jesse Thompson now the hitter. He takes the first pitch up high, ball 1. So is the Winder Barrow field kind of a bandbox, or was it just that the Rams' bats were alive?
It was kind of short out in left center field. In fact, Ryan Allen hit a home run to lead off the game as the first hitter. He hit a fly ball that ended up going. Let's see, who else hit homers that day? Matt Easterday hit a home run, and I believe Brent Johnson hit a long home run. Rams just did a good job playing there. And here comes one to us, Kevin.
Yeah, foul ball back this way, but just behind us, make it 2 balls and 1 strike to Jesse Thompson. The Winder Barrow game is one that you, of course, had a lot to say about afterwards. I was sorry to have missed that game, but I'll get the chance to go to that field for the first time tomorrow, and that'll be a 12 o'clock start. 2-1 pitch on the way, and it's low, ball 3.
And, of course, that's Mother Nature depending. Mother Nature, for some reason, doesn't want us to go to Winder Barrow.
I'm not sure exactly what Mother Nature's problem is with Winder, but that's exactly what it is. 3-1 high, ball 4. Third walk off of Ryan Moon. And runners at first and second here with 1 down in the inning. It'll bring up Derek Frazier, now the pitcher after starting the game in right field. 12-3, the Rams lead it here, scoring a pair of runs on 2 hits. In fact, Bill, the Rams have 12 runs, but only 6 hits to their credit in this game.
And normally if you scored 6 runs on 12 hits, that would be decent. You know, because a lot of times you see teams with 14, 15 hits and only score 6 runs. But to score 12 runs on 6 hits, that's unusual.
It's very unusual, and of course you've got to figure something's out of the ordinary. And what has happened is 10 walks in 4 innings from the Rockdale Bulldogs. 3 pitchers that they've used.
And of course the Ram pitcher, Ryan Moon, with only a couple of walks, but guess where they ended up? On the scoreboard.
That's right. In fact, this person that has walked right here, Jesse Thompson, of the 13 people that have walked today, he's the only one that hasn't come around to score, and he could. He's standing on first base right now with 1 out, but there are 12 men who have walked, and all 12 of them have come around to score. Actually, no, that's not true. There's one that didn't last inning, and this scorebook is the messiest thing I think that we've had in the last couple of years here, but corrected. So one person has not come around to score out of the 12 who had been walked before this previous one to Thompson. First pitch low to Derek Frazier, ball 1. 9 out of 11 have come around after receiving free passes.
And so often that does happen, doesn't it?
Most certainly. Stretch and the 1-0 pitch. That one just missed low, ball 2. For Jason Lunsford, didn't walk a single batter, didn't give up a single run against the Shiloh Generals. Pitched a complete game shutout, so shows you the importance of, first of all, playing good defense because the Rams made no errors, but second, also not walking anybody.
Gave up 8 hits, but scattered them completely, and no runs down to the plate.
Lane Floyd giving the sign. First and second, runners take their lead. Swinging a pop-up right back this way. Floyd gives chase. It's going to be 10 feet in front of us and off to our left, and the hitters have been teasing us throughout, Bill Dolan.
That one was close. I thought we had a chance there, Kevin. We lost sight of it for a minute, so we were both reaching out there trying to see if we could encourage it to come back.
In the process, I moved the glass in front of us and nearly squeezed off your right arm.
Well, that's okay. You're keeping score, so I don't need it for writing right now, at least.
And the good thing is you won't have to worry about it tomorrow since you'll be missing the Winder Barrow game. Stretch, 2-1 pitch. Outside, ball 3.
Of course, I do need to write down those names between 9 and 10 on every Saturday morning.
That's right. You'll have a lot of trivia winners tomorrow on the Saturday Morning Super Trivia Spectacular. Guess who your co-host is?
I think it's Kevin Holden going to join me for a while before he has to run out to catch the bus for the Rams.
That's right. 3-1 is driven deep to left field. Going back on it is Lunsford at the track at the wall. It is gone. A 3-run home run. Derek Frazier turned and drove it deep into the Newton County night. It is 12-6. Rams lead. Derek Frazier took a Ryan Moon fastball and drove it deep. Now, Ryan Moon has allowed 2 home runs this year, and both of them in similar situations. In that same type of count on the hitter, throwing a fastball right over the heart of the plate to a right-handed batter who pulled it over the left field wall.
And I think you're going to see a pitching change here. Matt Easterday was throwing down towards the bullpen. He's coming in, and you can usually tell when Matt's going to pitch. He takes the tape off of his jersey where he uses it to hold out. You can't have white tape when you're pitching, and yes, indeed, it is going to be a pitching change for the Rams. We'll be back and tell them all about it in just a moment. This is Newton Ram Baseball on WGFS AM 1430.
It's spring fever at Mayfield Ace Hardware. Just check out these great prices for all your spring cleaning and gardening. Corona 21-inch head shears or Corona 24-inch bypass lopper, your choice, just $19.96. An Ace spring rake, $7.96. A garden weasel cultivator garden claw, $34.96. An Ace folding pruning saw, just $5.97. Or an Ace bypass lopper, just $19.97. It's spring fever at Mayfield Ace Hardware, your headquarters for spring cleaning and gardening. Mayfield Ace Hardware on the square in Covington.
East Metro Paging is your hometown paging company, offering quality Motorola pagers and coverage options ranging from Metro to nationwide. East Metro handles their billing and repairs in-house. That means if you have a problem with your pager, you're not passed off to someone else. East Metro Paging offers their customers free of charge a loaner pager if their unit should need repairs. And if you're considering a pager, or if you're interested in moving your pager service to a dealer that specializes in communications, call East Metro Paging, 786-6796. You can also visit their store at 7115 Highway 278, a quarter-mile east of Newton General in Covington. East Metro Paging is a division of East Metro Communications Incorporated, this area's oldest communications dealer.
Welcome back to Riverside Park. The Newton Rams have made a pitching change. Here to tell you about it, Kevin Holden.
Well, it's Matt Easterday, who has an ERA of 2.33 this year, no record. In 2 games, in 6 innings, he's given up 2 hits and 2 runs, both earned. He has walked 4 and struck out 6, where in the process of getting the line on Ryan Moon, he pitched 4 1/3 innings, facing a total of 22 batters, giving up 6 runs, 5 of them being earned. He gave up, we'll count the hits here that he gave up, 4. That, of course, includes the 3-run homer that knocked him out of this game from Derek Frazier, a very hard-hit ball. He walked 3, rather. And the strikeout total for Ryan Moon was 2, so that's the final line for him. And, Bill, really not a poorly pitched game from Ryan Moon, but threw 1 mistake to Derek Frazier, and it resulted in 3 Rockdale runs.
That's true. That ball really crushed as it went sailing over Jason Lunsford's head and over the left field fence. You could pretty much tell as soon as it was hit that it was not going to stay in this field, and it barely stayed in the county, in fact.
You know, it was probably just as well for Lunsford that it did, because Lunsford was just a little bit fooled by that one.
Kind of reminds you a little bit of the song, you know, Every Which Way But Loose, as he turned, and, well, that's kind of a song, too, by the Byrds, Turn, Turn, Turn. Jason with his musical rendition out there on that fly ball, and now we know why he's the pitching ace of the team at 4-0 and a save, and
not the left field
playing
ace.
Left field all the time.
Lunsford definitely made that one an adventure, and it was a home run ball, so it may have been just as well for him. 12-6, the Rams lead. Matt Easterday will be pitching to Shane Kenny. Right now he is going over signals with Lane Floyd. Easterday hasn't pitched in a while.
And this ball game has started to really drag as we've crossed over the 2-hour mark now.
Only in the top half of the 5th with 1 out. There is a 10-run rule, but now with the 3-run homer, the Rams would have to score 4 times in the 5th to enact the 10-run rule. And, of course, that means that Easterday would also have to get the next 2 men out, or at least keep Rockdale from scoring a run. And right now there's a little bit of confusion as the home plate umpire and Joe Brassfield are talking right in front of the Newton dugout. David Bell is an onlooker here, and they're discussing the changes that they made. Ryan Moon is the shortstop right now. That's where he is. And Matt Vaughn, who was at shortstop, who had taken over for Easterday, is right now not to be seen out there. So it's Moon back at shortstop. Easterday, who, as we mentioned, had been removed from Matt Vaughn, comes back in. They're probably sorting out the batting order positions right now.
And the fans getting a little antsy down there. You can hear some of the people saying, come on, let's just play ball. And I agree, sort it out later. Let's go ahead and play ball.
So Easterday will have a few more warm-up tosses to throw. And, Bill, next week, going to be a huge week for the Newton Rams. If they hold on here and they beat Winder tomorrow, they'll be at 4-0 in sub-region play. Then, next Wednesday and next Friday, 2 games that if you haven't heard a single game this year, or if you haven't listened in for an entire game this year, you'll want to listen in for these 2, because it's Parkview at Parkview and then Berkmar coming here to Riverside Park.
And for those of you that can, on Friday, come out and see it here at Riverside Park. If you come out, bring your radio too and listen so you can hear all the exciting action as we bring it to you. The dynamic duo back intact together next week for 2 games if the rain doesn't wash us out, or snow, or whatever, no telling. And if this game ever ends...
Yeah, no one has thrown a pitch yet. Easterday is walking around the mound. Brassfield and one of the umpires still discussing the way the lineup is going, and they've gone over everything in the lineup. This is the way the defense looks for the Rams. It's still Baker at third. Ryan Moon is at shortstop. Smith still at second. Heyer still at first. The outfield completely new from the beginning of the game. It's Lunsford in left, Cleary in center, Millwood in right. Floyd is behind the plate. Easterday on the mound. second pitcher for the Rams.
And I think we're finally going to play baseball.
Bill, I think we've reached the promised land. Shane Kinney, who is 0 for 2, will step in. He grounded out and then struck out looking. Easterday goes into his wind. He brings his first pitch home in a while. It's lined down the left field line. Foul ball. Shane Kinney got on top and gave that one a ride down the left side.
Matt Easterday didn't exactly fool Shane Kinney with his first offering and kind of left a mediocre fastball hang right over the middle of the plate, and Kenny really turned on it.
Welcome to this game, Matt Easterday. So he'll take a look in and give the 0-1 offering after the noisy strike. It's a curveball in the dirt outside, 1-1. Due up for the Rams in the bottom half of the fifth. This should be fun. Luke Allen, who has been pulled out of the game, so that may not necessarily be the case, followed by Lane Floyd and then Richie Cleary. 1-1, outside ball 2. Of course, in high school you can re-enter a player, so Luke Allen could possibly hit first, but it might also be Millwood or it might be Lunsford. No, it wouldn't be Lunsford. He's in the 9 spot. There's a swing and a miss, 2-2. So put a question mark by the first batter of the bottom half of the fifth inning. Curtis Beddington on deck. He is 0 for 2. A fly out and a strikeout. Here's the wind, the 2-2 pitch. Bounced weakly in front of home plate and down the third base side. Floyd catches it in foul territory, though. Count remains 2-2.
And Matt Easterday doing a little better moving the ball around, not giving up the fat pitch that can be turned on and ripped like the first pitch. I think that kind of woke him up a little bit and got him going a little better.
It's amazing to think, Bill, about the ERAs on this Ram team. Matt Easterday at 2.33. That's a tremendous ERA. Puts him 4th on this Ram team. Luke Allen is at 0.54, not including the game he pitched at Troup County. Jason Lunsford under 1. He's at 0.94. And Ryan Moon was at 1.75 before this outing. That'll rise some, but Easterday at 2.33 is actually right in the middle of the pack on this staff. Wines brings it home. Swing and a miss. It was the changeup. That'll be out number 2. First strikeout for Easterday and third for Ram pitching.
Easterday with a pretty good percentage of strikeouts to innings pitched. That's his 7th strikeout now in this only his 7th inning also.
And now here's Beddington.
Of course, the leader on the staff with the strikeouts and his last 2 outings have been the main reason is Richie Cleary, who has really started throwing a lot of strikeouts last couple games. He's up to 28 in only 21 innings. Just a phenomenal ratio.
He has struck out, Bill, in his last 15 innings, 25 batters. Almost 2 an inning.
You know, we kept on and on about the Columbia pitcher, what was his name?
Jeremy Hartz.
Jeremy Hartz, and how many strikeouts he had, and Richie almost matched him.
That's right. In fact, if you count just Hart's strikeouts, he did. Hart struck out 14. Granted, it was in 5 innings, where Cleary struck out 14 in 7 innings, but he did. He matched the strikeout total and walked fewer people.
And maintained better control, stayed in control of himself and the ball game, and that's why he stayed in the game, whereas Jeremy Hartz had to be pulled. If Jeremy Hartz stayed in there, I don't know if the Rams end up winning that game, Kevin.
He was still throwing gas in the 5th inning, but they pulled him out, and that's when the Rams made the big comeback. They had trouble with Hartz. Easterday's first offering outside to Beddington, ball 1. Nonetheless, though, the Rams with a huge comeback in the 6th and 7th. They won that game 7-5. 1-0 outside, ball 2. Since then, the momentum has helped them to win every game in the sub-region that they've played so far, so that Columbia game went a long way toward their next 3 that they've played in 8 Quad A South.
It really has, and that was really big, the Rams winning that tournament. It just helped a lot of things, and when you've won it 4 years in a row, they went into that tournament this year even more dedicated to it, I think, than last year. And you could tell just by the way Coach Brassfield arranged his pitching, it was very important to him to win the South Metro tournament. I think they're going to rename that the Newton Ram tournament.
Yes, it is. Henceforth, the Ram tournament. The 2-0 is swung on and fouled back to the screen. Actually, we're just kidding, but Easterday winds, brings the 2-1 home. It's in the dirt, ball 3. There was a little bit of a rumor, Bill, that the Rams may not be involved in the South Metro next year. They may move on to a different tournament.
Well, you got to wonder if they're going to want to keep inviting the Rams back to it.
See if they couldn't get a different champion. The wind. 3-1 pitch, outside, ball 4. So Bennington reaches first. Easterday has faced 2 batters, struck out 1 and walked 1. Funny to think about it, Bill. The last time that another team other than the Rams won the South Metro tournament, one of the 2 of us was still in high school. Scary thought.
Has it been that long?
Here's Art Lilliander. We won't say which one of us it was.
Oh, okay.
Partially because I don't want to give away how old I am and make them think that perhaps I was the one that was in high school at that time. Lilliander 0 for 1 with a walk. Takes the first pitch on the outside corner or somewhere near it for strike 1.
Yeah, I think Matt did get a little break there. That one appeared to be just a little bit outside. Maybe the umpire's starting to get a little tired now.
Runner takes his lead away. Pitch on the way. Another strike, same spot. It's 0-2. Isn't drawing much reaction from the fans. They may also be tired at this point. We're at the 2-hour, 10-minute point of this game, and we're still only in the top of the 5th. 18 runs have been scored.
A few hoots and hollers from the Rockdale side.
0-2 pitch on the way. That one definitely missed high, ball 1.
We have seen some different type of umpiring this year in several of the games.
One of which was the game before the Columbia game that same day of the South Metro Finals. Pitch is on the way, lined, and Doyle Baker makes the catch. Nice job from Doyle Baker staying with the line drive there. Rockdale picks up 3, though, on the homer from Zach Frazier, and after 4.5 innings, your score is 12-6. The Newton Rams on top of the Rockdale Bulldogs in 8 Quad A South action. Newton Ram baseball on WGFS AM 1430.
Aside from choosing the right home, it's important to choose the right mortgage loan. At Newton Federal Savings and Loan, we're putting today's low rates together with prompt hometown service in offering special construction perm loans with one-time closing, conventional and balloon mortgages, and more. And servicing of your loan remains right here, too. Newton Federal Savings and Loan, 3175 Highway 278, Covington. FDIC insured and equal housing lender.
Did you know that termites cause more damage to homes annually than fires, floods, and natural disasters combined? To protect your home from termites and other pests, call Cleary Exterminating, 786-4937. They'll send them packing. Termites and beetles, fleas, rats and mice, roaches and ants. Commercial or residential, we can help get rid of what bugs you. Call Cleary Exterminating on Highway 278 in Covington, 786-4937. At Cleary Exterminating, we make mouse calls. It's no secret, organizations that do the best are the first-class organizations. Consider the Atlanta Braves, on top of the baseball world after winning the World Series in 1995. Now consider WGFS, your leader for sports. Now consider the two together. That's right, the Braves on WGFS AM 1430. Some first-class organizations that help us to bring you Braves baseball are Courtesy Ford, Statham Tire, and Newton General Hospital. The Braves on WGFS.
And welcome back to Riverside Park. The Newton Rams prepare to do battle in the bottom of the 5th inning. Here to give you all the action, Kevin Holden.
Okay, now let's see who comes up to hit here for the Newton Rams. First up in the bottom of the 5th. Remember, we put a big question mark here. First pitch outside, ball 1. That's Josh Millwood who's hitting. So we thought perhaps Millwood would be the one hitting here.
Evidently, he took Luke's place in the order.
Maybe that was the confusion that the home plate umpire had. So Millwood is here. He swings and misses, making a ball and 1 strike. And in the meanwhile, we've got a couple of folks that are involved with some of the other levels of Newton Ram baseball. We'll get a chance to talk to them here in the top half, make it the bottom half of the 5th inning. 1-1. Millwood takes a big cut, comes up short. It's 1-2. Ryan Lee is here with us. Ryan was up with the varsity for a couple of games, had a chance to pitch even against the Griffin Bears, and really threw only 2 bad pitches. The unfortunate thing was Griffin was all over those 2, but other than that, pitched very well, an ERA of 3. There's a swing and a miss from Millwood. He goes down. He's now 0 for 2 on the year. That's the first out. And Ryan is down with the JV team. Tell us how things have been going down there.
We started off with a pretty bad start, but we came back, started hitting the ball better.
What's your current record right now?
3-3.
Okay, and you started out 0-3, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so who have you beaten now in the last couple of games?
Riverdale. It was in the tournament. We really...
We beat Salem. That was Riverdale.
First pitch low and inside here. 1-0 to Lane Floyd. We've got another young man. Jay, I don't know your last name.
I'm Kirkham, Jay Kirkham.
Jay Kirkham, okay. I don't know why on all this time I've never known your last name. 1-0 is inside, ball 2. Jay has been here and helped us out in a lot of different things throughout the year, but I've just known you as Jay throughout this whole time. The wind, the 2-0 pitch. There's a swing and a weak popper. Derek Frazier going to be under it and make the play. That's out number 2. Jay, you're involved with another level of this Ram program. How have you guys been doing?
Well, we came up from pretty much the freshman team came up from coming up and losing a bunch in the freshman year, and we just had to get our mentality back that we could win if we played together.
You have any idea what the record is right now? With the freshman team, you know what their record is right now?
I don't really think the freshmen have won a game yet.
Oh, okay.
They're working there. It's kind of hard.
Well, they're under a first-year head coach also, Derek Coggin, learning the ropes as a ninth grade coach. Richie Cleary steps in. He takes the first pitch inside, ball 1. 2 down here in the bottom half of the 5th. So what are your impressions of this Ram program so far and how they played?
We've got a very good program.
Wind and the pitch. That's a called strike on the outside corner. Good curveball from Derek Frazier. And the varsity, of course, has gotten the job done.
Yeah, the varsity's really stepped up, and I mean they got Luke and Richie and all them. They can hit the ball pretty hard this year, and Luke and Richie and Jason have been pitching. I mean, they've been going awesome.
2 balls, 1 strike now to Cleary. Frazier winds, brings it home. It's outside, ball 3. We'll get Ryan back on the mic in a moment to talk a little more about his chances to pitch with the varsity team earlier this year and a chance to play with them for a couple of games. 3-1 pitch to Cleary is a strike. They got the neighborhood call around the outside part. Full count now, 3-2. 2 down, bottom half of the 5th. Rams lead by 6. Frazier the wind and the pitch. Swung on, he missed it, but it got past the catcher, Josh Jones, back to the screen, and they are not going to have a chance at him at first base, so Cleary strikes out, but reaches. We'll check the official scoring, probably a pass ball. It's a pass ball on Josh Jones, allowing Cleary to reach first base after the strikeout. Ryan, tell us what you felt like coming in against Griffin in a South Metro tournament game and having the chance to pitch there.
Well, I was pretty nervous being the first time, but I got over it. I started doing pretty good that first inning, but the second inning they got on me.
Stretch from Frazier. His first pitch is on the way. It's back to the screen. Brandon Smith, the hitter, so Cleary will reach second on the wild pitch. So Richie Cleary has benefited. That's a pass ball, actually, on Josh Jones. So Jones has helped Cleary out quite a bit. He's given him first and second base here.
Yeah, that one just kind of went right through his glove, Kevin. For some reason, he evidently didn't get over on it in time, and it definitely hit leather and went right through him back to the screen.
Smith walked and came around to score his last time. He swings and lines one to the screen here. It's 1-1. So is a little less tension pitching some of those JV games than it is pitching that varsity?
A lot. I think he wanted me to go down and get some more work and hopefully come back up at the end of the season, maybe get a little bit more work in.
What do you think is the main difference between JV and varsity baseball?
Better hitters. You can just feel more comfortable, really, right now, since, being a sophomore, you relax more, work on your pitches.
Plus you'll get more innings down there than you would at the varsity level. Smith takes the 1-1 outside, ball 2. There's another swing and a liner back to the screen, 2-2. Brandon Smith taking some big cuts up there. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
Ryan, how did it feel the first time in that Griffin game when you saw the ball leaving the yard?
Actually, didn't feel too good.
And then the next
one didn't feel even better.
Stretch the 2-2 pitch on the way. That's a swing and a miss. Brandon Smith goes down. Well, Ryan, despite the 2 bad pitches, you came out well. In fact, you're permanently on the stat sheet this year with an ERA of 3 and even a save to your credit. So credit yourself for that, and good luck with the JV program this year. And I know you guys now have won your last 3, and you're on a roll.
Thank you, Kevin.
All right, Ryan and Jay Kirkham. I'm going to catch that now so I don't forget that.
And Ryan, we hope to see you up later in the season, so go down there and get a lot of work in. When some of these arms get tired up here, we're going to need you later in the season, okay?
Guys, thanks for being with us, and good luck to the programs. And good luck, of course, to the varsity here as we head to the 6th. Your score is 12-6. The Rams lead the Rockdale Bulldogs. Ram baseball on WGFS AM 1430.
The Bank of Covington offers full-service banking and convenient locations, and you can find what you want in a checking account, savings plan, simple interest loan, and 24-hour automatic banking that gives you access to over 8,000 ATMs throughout the Southeast and the USA. Just what you would expect from a leading financial institution. The Bank of Covington, member FDIC, an equal opportunity lender.
Bulldog Tire Company is your complete car care center. They take off tires, wheels, have wheel alignment, tune-ups, brake service, road and farm service, radiator repair, wrecker service, and much, much more. That's Bulldog Tire Company. Talk to owner Tommy Coker at 787-6030, 787-6030. Bulldog Tire Company, 4108 Elm Street in Covington. Bulldog Tire Company.
Riverside Park, Newton County, Newton Ram Baseball, live on WGFS. Here with the play-by-play, Kevin Holden.
All right, thank you very much, Bill Dolan. Butch Kelly will lead it off for the Rockdale Bulldogs as we go to the top half of the sixth. They'll be followed by Corey Holcomb and then Barrett Tatum. Butch Kelly put a charge into one his last time up. I mean a serious charge. About 355 feet. Wind from Easterday. His first pitch is a strike to Kelly. Fortunately, on that last hit, Cleary was able to make the play. No, take that back. It was a single. He was able to keep the ball in the park, at least. The wind, the 0-1 pitch to Kelly. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2, and I think they just figured out Butch Kelly's weakness for the off-speed pitch.
Yeah, that's probably, we're going to mark that as the longest single of the year so far that we've seen, isn't it, Kevin?
I believe so. I think that won't be broken. The 0-2, strike three called outside corner, and just as when I knew Butch Kelly from before, the off-speed pitch, a little bit of trouble for him, a strikeout here.
Don't throw him the fastball, right?
That's exactly right. When I saw him, he was only 12, as a matter of fact, on that Rockdale Southern team, 11 and 12-year-old all-star team that made the series, and he would hit some of the longest batting practice home runs that you would ever see a 12-year-old hit, and had a little more trouble in the games because of the curveballs and the off-speed pitches. Corey Holcomb, 0 out of 2, steps in. Pitch taken outside, ball 2.
All the Rockdale players right now standing outside the dugout. I'm kind of surprised the umpire hasn't said something to them. Normally they keep them in the dugout here at Riverside.
There's a strike. Make it 2 balls, 1 strike to Corey Holcomb. In fact, they're standing out and having conversation amongst themselves, having a good time. There's a swing and a liner to right center field. That's going to be in for 1 and maybe more. Millwood does a good job to come over and cut that ball off. Keeps Holcomb to a single.
That was a real good job by Josh getting over there. Real similar to a play he attempted to make against Columbia, but the field was a little wet and he lost his footing and everything. So on a dry field, looks like Josh has, and particularly at night too, under the full lights, he made a good play on that one.
So he's a good horse on a dry track. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, well, we wouldn't want to call him a mudder, I guess.
Has a little trouble on the wet track. Not a very graceful fall in that game against Columbia. Snap throw to first base, and Holcomb is back in safely. We kidded him about that after that game. Of course, it certainly was not his fault, the wet conditions out there against Columbia, and he was going after a ball toward right field and slipped and fell on his first step going toward it. There's a swing and a pop fly into shallow center. Going to be a long run. Richie Cleary comes in, though. He's got it. That one actually carried out farther than I thought. Two outs now.
Yeah, when Richie first took off, it looked like he was going to have to run forever, and all of a sudden he stopped, and the ball just kind of floated out to him, so it turned into an easier play. But Richie did a good job of getting to the ball. Nice to know he can move over into that center field position if need be. But it's kind of unusual. Usually Coach Brassfield has left him in right field or left field and played somebody else in center, but I guess he's not as confident with the other center fielders he's got this year.
Not only that, I guess Luke Allen is going to get a rest before tomorrow's game, which I think further cements the fact that he'll probably be pitching tomorrow against Winder. First pitch inside to Brian Kenny. It's 1-0. Bulldogs on consecutive nights. Dog days for the Newton Rams today and tomorrow.
Only one of them has 2 Gs.
And one has 1 G. We're facing the 1G Bulldogs tonight. Stretch and the pitch, and that one is popped up sky high left side. In comes Lunsford. Out goes the shortstop Moon, and he makes the catch. And that one could have been an adventure with Lunsford bowing out at the last second as Ryan Moon made the play from the shortstop position. F6 in the scorebook. No runs, 1 hit. That man was left at first base, though, and as we go to the bottom of the 6th, it is 12-6. The Rams lead the Rockdale Bulldogs, trying to stay undefeated in 8 Quad A South. Ram baseball on WGFS AM 1430.
When you're looking for a garden tractor, you want one that won't back away from the big jobs. You want a Toro wheel horse garden tractor from Coast to Coast Home and Auto. Here's one tractor that's not afraid to get dirty. And with an available 20 horsepower Toro Power Plus engine, it can mow, till, plow, even remove snow without breaking a sweat. But don't take our word for it. See the complete line of Toro wheel horse garden tractors today at Coast to Coast Home and Auto. We think you'll agree they look great in red, but they're even better in earth tones. At Coast to Coast Home and Auto, we'd like to give you some powerful reasons to go get a Toro wheel horse lawn tractor, like an available 16 horsepower Vanguard overhead valve engine, or the largest mowing deck available on any lawn tractor, and a choice between a fully automatic hydrostatic transmission and a shift-on-the-go 5-speed. See one for yourself at Coast to Coast Home and Auto today. We have a full line of Toro wheel horse lawn tractors to choose from, and you'll learn that with so many high-performance features, you can make quick work of almost any job.
Ram baseball coming to you live on WGFS Radio. The Rams on top 12-6. We head to the bottom of the 6th, and here with the play-by-play, Kevin Holden.
Thanks, Bill Dolan. We hope to give the Rams 4 runs and an end to this affair here. It would make the Rams 11-3 overall. We will start off this inning here with Doyle Baker, who has come back in. Shane Ballard hit for Baker in the 4th, and now Doyle Baker comes back in here, takes the first pitch, outside ball 1 to lead off the 6th. He's at 384, 10 hits in 26 trips to the plate. Derek Frazier winds. Baker takes one outside, ball 2.
I'd like to see Doyle turn on one of these Frazier fastballs. Doyle's about due to hit that first home run of the season, and this would be a good spot for him.
Swings and lines one foul down the right side, make it 2-1. Got good aluminum on that ball, but just behind it.
Something about the crack of the aluminum instead of the crack of the wood.
Ping goes the aluminum bat as Baker lines that one down the right side.
Actually, Doyle's choked up a little bit on the bat. He's more looking to just kind of lay something out there, I think, instead of up there with the big cuts.
Takes ball 3 here. That, in other words, he's looking for more of a pong than a ping. Is that what you're saying?
Whatever.
Derek Frazier winds, brings the 3-1 home. Over the catcher's head, ball 4. Baker hustling down to first base, going full tilt down there. He's there with no one out.
Of course, we commented on his hustle before down to first base. This one a little more justified because the ball got back to the screen, and sometimes you can end up with that free stroll down to second base.
The difference between this stadium and a lot of other ones in the region is there's not quite as much room between home plate and the backstop here. Runner going on the pitch. It's past the catcher. So a stolen base for Doyle Baker without a throw. The pitch was low for the first ball here to Lunsford. But as we were saying before, Bill, and you go to Brookwood or Shiloh, both of those places, there's about 1.5 miles between the home plate and the backstop.
Oh, there really is. In fact, you can score from second base on a pass ball.
That's how the Rams lost a chance in the region tournament a few years back. At Shiloh on a play just like that. Lunsford swings and lines one foul. It's 1-1. Vince Parham was the pitcher for the Rams in an extra inning game against Shiloh. Uncorked a wild pitch that in other places would not have brought the run home, but the way the ball stuck in the real high grass behind home plate that hadn't been cut, a run scored, and Rams did not make the tournament. Swing and a miss from Lunsford. It's 1-2.
This catcher for the Bulldogs, Josh Jones, not anywhere near as impressive as Shane Kenny. He has a lot of trouble with the low pitch. In fact, several pitches have actually gone literally through him, whereas Kenny was knocking down everything inside. He probably just beat himself to death, and that's why they had to take him out of there.
And they pulled him out after 4 or 5 innings here. Swing and a miss from Lunsford. So he is gone. First time this year that Lunsford has struck out, 1 down, back to Easterday at the top of the order. So Easterday is back into the action for Matt Vaughn, who singled in the 4th, who had come in to hit for Easterday, who had, in the first 3 innings, grounded out twice and walked and scored. Takes a strike here.
Kind of a neighborhood call right there, I think, but Matt can't say much because he got the benefit of a couple of them himself.
Here they're going to check the base umpire, who says he did go around on that offering, make it no balls and 2 strikes to the Ram pitcher.
You know, the interesting thing with only 2 umpires, that umpire is in no better position to make a call than the home plate umpire. So normally you appeal like down to the first base umpire with the right-handed batter because he's got the angle. But this guy's in the angle toward the shortstop, so how can he really see whether the bat crossed the plate?
The 0-2 outside, ball 1. Matt Easterday with that closed stance, awaiting the 1-2 offering. It's in the dirt, and the runner's going to head for third, and Jones will not have a throw. Baker will go in standing up.
That one will be a wild pitch. That one was down in the dirt, so Jones actually did a good job of stopping it, but good alert base running by Doyle Baker. He was off the minute it hit the dirt. We haven't really seen this kid Jones throw yet, so he hasn't caught anything to throw, so we're not sure what kind of an arm he's got.
Rams with plenty of stolen bases in this game. That's strike 3 call on the outside corner to Easterday. Hustles back to the dugout, flips his bat toward Ryan Moon, who will step up there. Moon is 2 for 2 with a pair of walks, and Jones will go out and have a word with Derek Frazier. Talking about catchers and the Rams taking advantage, they stole 7 bases against Shiloh, and their catcher, Josh O'Donnell, who had a little trouble with his throws down to second base, and that's all it took. The Rams took off and started stealing bases on him. Ended up stealing quite a few in that game, and it helped to give them the 7-0 win there. First pitch, outside, ball 1 to Ryan Moon.
I guess that's what the Ram pitchers have thrown 2 shutouts now, and Jason pitched both of them.
Wine, the 0-1 is in the dirt. It's back to the screen. Here comes Baker headed for the plate. Throw will not be made. Yeah, it will, but he was in safely, and the throw was well behind him. So it's 13-6 Rams. Another wild pitch, I believe. That'll be called on Derek Frazier. Talking about the 2 shutouts, Lunsford threw one all by himself, then another one he and Easterday combined for the shutout. So there are 2 team shutouts for the Rams this year.
Yeah, that first one that Jason threw, really not a Jason Lunsford effort. Gave up no hits, but walked 8 and struck out 8. And then this last game against Shiloh, gave up 8 base hits, but walked none, and did he strike out but 2? So that's a little more on the Jason Lunsford side of things. Kind of a weak-hitting team that they faced in that first shutout, and Jason really had them stymied. And in fact, they probably wouldn't have gotten a hit if Jarvis had backed up on the hitter coming up. He failed to catch the sign to back up, and a ball hit off Easterday, went over his head for a double. That was the only hit of the ball game.
Moon takes the pitch here for strike 1. The scoreboard had originally read that there was 1 strike, but it has been changed. Instead of 2-1, it was 3-0, and so that pitch with a strike makes it 3-1. 2 down, 13-6 Rams. We are in the 6th. That's ball 4 outside.
So Ryan Moon reaches for the 5th consecutive time. Look what his on-base average is going to do.
Makes it 6 straight that he has reached base. In fact, in the last game against Shiloh, he reached base 3 times in 4 trips to the plate, so he's 8 out of his last 9 in on-base percentage. And if you go back to Brookwood, he reached base twice there. So he has definitely done his job out of the 2-hole. Here is Matt Hyer. I said it, didn't I? Stephen Hyers.
Finally did it.
I knew I was going to do it before the year was over. Stretch. Pitch to him. Delayed steal. Double clutch on the throw to second base. And in safely is Moon. It takes a scamper from Barrett Tatum to retrieve the ball before he can advance farther than second. So the delayed steal. First pitch was a strike.
That's not the first time we've seen him do that. And, of course, very reminiscent of his brother last year, who did it about 12 times? And probably did it better than anybody I've ever seen, because he'd just kind of be standing there, and then as soon as the catcher lowered his head, of course, Brian, as a catcher, was able to really see that and just go. And the first couple times I saw him do it, I was really amazed, and then you could see where he would really read it and do it. And like I said, he was successful 12 or 13 times. Highly unusual for a catcher to steal that many bases.
0-1 misses up high. It's 1-1. That's in 27 games, of course, that he did that. A ball and a strike. Stephen Hyers awaits the 1-1 offering. It is low, ball 2. Stephen has 2 older brothers who came through the Newton Ram program, which is why I knew I was going to call him by one of their names before this was over with. Matt, of course, the middle of the 3 brothers. The 2-1 pitch is up high with the off-speed 3-1. Matt is now at Middle Georgia, and his older brother Tim at AAA with the Detroit Tigers. 3-1 pitch is due to the youngest of the Hires brothers, and it's ball 4 high. Third walk in the inning from Derek Frazier. First one came around to score. The second one is at second base. The third one is at first. And here's Millwood, who was overmatched last time and struck out.
Now, if he could hit a home run here, we could go home then, right?
That's exactly right. It's a 10-run rule, and right now it's 13-6, Newton on top. And so if Millwood were to get a hold of one, it would then be 16-6, and the Rams would, without having to play that last inning, go to 3-0. Stretch, Millwood swinging and missing at the first pitch, 0-1.
Well, I'm going to kind of tend to believe that's probably not going to happen, so maybe he can at least get a base hit and keep it going and get a couple more runs.
It's too bad, too, because if he'd hit the home run, I would have had the chance to say something I've wanted to say for a long time. Swing and a miss, 0-2. You realize with Derek Frazier pitching, it's just leaving it open if they ever knocked him out to say, down goes Frazier. But we'll refrain.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Moved at second, Hires at first. They take their leads. 0-2 pitch. Strike 3 outside corner. Millwood, his second strikeout and as many trips up there. For the Rams, they don't have a base hit in the inning, but they put one across. That's kind of the story of the game tonight. And they left 2 men on base. So we have played 6 full innings from Riverside Park with your score 13-6. The Rams leading the Rockdale Bulldogs. Ram baseball on WGFS AM 1430.
At Hardy's Floor Covering and Supplies, we've got you covered with vinyl, wallpaper, carpet, wood, parquet, VCT tile, interior design service, carpet cleaning service, and blinds. They're the largest and most complete carpet store serving Newton, Rockdale, and Morgan counties, Lake Oconee, and surrounding areas. They specialize in residential and commercial flooring. Their professional carpet consultants and interior designer will bring samples to your home, take measurements, and quote you a price all in one visit. Call them, Hardy's Floor Covering and Supplies, 786-9245, 786-9245, or in Madison, 342-3869, 342-3869. Hardy's Floor Covering and Supplies.
Stay tuned throughout the 1996 baseball season as WGFS brings you coverage of the Atlanta Braves. Join us as the Braves try to capture their second consecutive World Series championship. Atlanta Braves on WGFS, brought to you by the Farm and Garden Depot, Snapping Shoals, Norwest Financial, Rhodes Printing, and Cotton State Insurance. Don't miss the Atlanta Braves 1996 right here on WGFS AM 1430.
And good evening once again, and welcome back to Riverside Park. We head to the 7th inning. The Rams trying to wrap it up. Matt Easterday trying to get the job done. Here to bring you through it and tell you all about it, Kevin Holden.
All right, Bill, thank you very much. Jesse Thompson, the first man due up here for the Rockdale Bulldogs. He's 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Easterday's first offering to him is lined foul, 0-1. Derek Frazier, a 3-run homer for the Bulldogs. Those 3 runs in the 5th, combined with 2 in the 4th and 1 in the 1st, make their 6 runs. Rams have put 13 across. Easterday winds the 0-1, is outside, ball 1. The Rams, 3 runs in the 1st, then 9 over the next 3 innings. 4, 3, and 2 in those 3 innings, plus 1 in the 6th. Lane Floyd, catcher here for the Rams, second catcher of the night, gives the signal to the second pitcher, Matt Easterday, and his offering is inside, ball 2.
Breaking ball didn't quite snap off there. Had the hitter leaning, but didn't quite come in.
The 2-1 pitch swung on and missed, make it 2-2.
Served its purpose, though, because that really had him off balance for the fastball right there.
Easterday has given up only 1 hit since coming into the action in the 5th. He has walked 1 and struck out 2. And the temperatures are starting to dip down here. Wind then the 2-2 pitch, line back to the screen. I knew I made a mistake, Bill, when I came to the park today without a jacket. I knew that the temperatures would dip and this game would be long enough to where I would be in trouble.
And you are.
Not now, but in just a minute when I'll have to step outside after this one's over with.
And no, Kevin, you're not getting my jacket.
2-2 pitch, outside, ball 3. And I can't even use that classic line, can I?
No, I beat you to it already.
Bill, I feel like I've known you forever. The wind, the 3-2 pitch, swung on and missed. Thompson goes down on strikes. It's Easterday's third strikeout. And Thompson is not saying I love you man to Matt Easterday right now.
No, he's not. Rams only need 2 more outs to end this and put another victory in the victory column. It hasn't been pretty, but at this point in time in a game like this, the key is you got to put the wins there. You have to win the games that you're supposed to win. And so far the Rams have done that. The only games they've lost have been non-region games, so although they hurt them perhaps in a state standing or something to that effect, but state standings are nice, but they don't really mean anything if you don't win in your sub.
That's the key, the wind. And the pitch, low and outside to Derek Frazier, who hit a long 3-run homer 2 innings ago off of Ryan Moon. Really, the Rams haven't pitched poorly. They've given up 5 hits. Of course, one of them went as long as about 3 normal hits or more. There's a called strike on the outside corner, strike 1. That's from Frazier, of course, when he hit the 3-run shot.
Of course, then we had a 355-foot single.
Off the bat of Butch Kelly in the 4th, and Cleary hit a long shot out there, too. So we've had some long hit balls in this game. It's outside, ball 2. 2-1. Frazier was the right fielder starting this game. He's reached base every time. A 2-base error from Doyle Baker allowed a run to come home in the 1st, and that allowed Frazier to reach also. 2 balls and 1 strike, and the pitch comes in low. On deck is Shane Kinney, who is 0 for 3, so if they can get past Frazier, they'll have a much better chance of finishing this game out in quick style. 3-1 pitch, swung on and missed. He was bailing out on it. Fills the count up, 3-2.
Excellent pitch there by Matt Easterday as he really fooled him with the breaking ball. Frazier, as you said, was bailing out.
Payoff pitch. He swings, pops 1 foul off to our right. It'll bounce out of play.
And that previous curveball had Frazier still a little bit away from that. He was not able to catch up with that outside pitch.
Taking a look at the score sheet here for the Newton Rams and deciding who will receive the WGFS Player of the Game award. Of course, we don't want to do that prematurely. 3-2 pitch, strike 3 called, outside corner, another strikeout. So Easterday has come in and pitched effectively in relief here so far, striking out his 4th man there. This, of course, is not a safe situation, but nonetheless will make his stats look nice. 2 down.
Actually, he only missed the save situation by 1 out, didn't he? Didn't he come in with only 1 out in the 4th inning?
Yeah, he was 1 out away from pitching a full 3 innings. And if you pitch 3 innings, you're eligible for the save. There's a swing and a miss from Shane Kinney, who's disgusted with himself after missing that fastball 0-1. You know, since high school games are only 7 innings, it's Josh Jones actually who's hitting here for Kinney. Since the high school games are only 7 innings, Bill, there ought to be a prorated rule there for the relief pitchers.
Right, they should be able to maybe get away with 2, do you think? Instead of 3?
Or maybe 2 1/3 or 2 2/3 or something to that effect. 0-1 is missing for ball 1, so the count evens to Jones.
Yeah, because Matt obviously will have pitched a greater percentage than a third of the game, but will not be eligible for a save unless we invent a new rule.
Either that or he just gets the moral save. You know how they talk about moral victories? He gets a moral save here.
Well, Kevin, we keep the stats, right?
That's right. 1-1 misses outside, ball 2.
How about if you pitch 2 2/3 innings, you get a save in high school baseball from now on?
The 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss, 2-2. Bill, you remind me of those people on the playground that used to call for the 5th down in football just out of nowhere. Oh, we got a rule that there's a 5th down now. No, actually, I believe that you're right. There should be some kind of prorated rule there. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. We'll discuss it in just a moment. The 2-2 pitch, low, ball 3.
Let's make sure it all matters here.
Right. We've got to take care of that first, then we'll deal with the rule.
Take care of business first.
Really, Easterday has pitched effectively. There's no doubt about that. So that's out of the way. The wind, the payoff pitch. Oh, just missed outside, ball 4.
And Matt was strolling to the dugout already, but he'll have to go back up and do it again.
So here's Beddington, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. I don't have a problem giving Easterday a save in the situation, but of course I like to go by the rules with this thing here, so we'll have to double check on it and see. But I think Easterday has pitched well enough here to deserve a save.
And I don't really think there are specific rules for saves in high school baseball, so given the situation and how effectively he has pitched, it does kind of seem a shame not to give him a save.
First pitch outside, but the umpire gives it a call for strike one. It's 0-1. The stretch. Easterday brings the 0-1 home. It's a change-up. Popped foul. So it's 0-2, and once again we're one strike away from ending this marathon that's gone on almost 3 hours. Curtis Beddington, the last man who stands between the Rams and a triumph here.
You were telling me earlier, Kevin, this was the first time that you had seen Matt Easterday pitch. He's pretty effective looking. Not much wasted motion. Kind of a compact delivery, and he throws hard and has a good breaking ball to go along with it. So he doesn't really hurt you when he comes in there. I mean, he's not like an infielder coming in to pitch. He actually is a pitcher.
You can tell that he's definitely done his share of pitching, and as you mentioned, it's a compact delivery, throws that front arm out at you, so it's a little tough to catch, and there's a swing and a miss. Curtis Beddington goes down. Matt Easterday striking out the side. He struck out 5 in 2 2/3 innings, and he comes in and slams the door on the Rockdale Bulldogs. That'll do it for this one. The Rams win it 13-6. No runs, no hits in the 7th for the Bulldogs. They do leave one man on base. But the Newton Rams, with the 7-run win here, go to 3-0 in the sub-region, 11-3 overall. And we're going to be back to wrap it up and decide the fate of a couple of folks here on WGFS AM 1430.
East Metro Paging is your hometown paging company, offering quality Motorola pagers and coverage options ranging from Metro to nationwide. East Metro handles their billing and repairs in-house. That means if you have a problem with your pager, you're not passed off to someone else. East Metro Paging offers their customers free of charge a loaner pager if their unit should need repairs. And if you're considering a pager, or if you're interested in moving your pager service to a dealer that specializes in communications, call East Metro Paging, 786-6796. You can also visit their store at 7115 Highway 278, a quarter-mile east of Newton General in Covington. East Metro Paging is a division of East Metro Communications Incorporated, this area's oldest communications dealer.
It's spring fever at Mayfield Ace Hardware. Just check out these great prices for all your spring cleaning and gardening. Corona 21-inch head shears or Corona 24-inch bypass lopper, your choice, just $19.96. An Ace spring rake, $7.96. A garden weasel cultivator garden claw, $34.96. An Ace folding pruning saw, just $5.97. Or an Ace bypass lopper, just $19.97. It's spring fever at Mayfield Ace Hardware, your headquarters for spring cleaning and gardening. Mayfield Ace Hardware on the square in Covington.
If you're age 60 or better, Newton Federal has created benefits especially for you. Our Now Interest checking account pays current market interest on your entire checking balance, not just part of it, if you maintain a $100 balance. And we offer it to our 60-plus customers with no minimum balance requirements and no monthly maintenance fees. Talk with us today at Newton Federal Savings and Loan, FDIC insured. After all, you deserve the best.
Did you know that termites cause more damage to homes annually than fires, floods, and natural disasters combined? To protect your home from termites and other pests, call Cleary Exterminating, 786-4937. They'll send them packing. Termites and beetles, fleas, rats and mice, roaches and ants. Commercial or residential, we can help get rid of what bugs you. Call Cleary Exterminating on Highway 278 in Covington, 786-4937. At Cleary Exterminating, we make mouse calls.
The best money manager around is a checking account from the Bank of Covington. It's easy to keep track of your income and all your expenses with your checkbook and the detailed monthly statements we send you. It lets you see where you might save money, and it really helps in balancing your budget. If you're not already enjoying such financial assistance, learn all the advantages of a personal checking account at one of the convenient Bank of Covington locations. The Bank of Covington, member FDIC.
Bulldog Tire Company is your complete car care center. They take off tires, wheels, have wheel alignment, tune-ups, brake service, road and farm service, radiator repair, wrecker service, and much more. That's Bulldog Tire Company. Talk to owner Tommy Coker at 787-6030, 787-6030. Bulldog Tire Company, 4108 Elm Street in Covington. Bulldog Tire Company.
We're back with happy news from Riverside Park and Newton High School. Of course, the news is only happy if you're a fan of the Newton Rams, but if it is, and you are, then they won. It is 13-6 your final as they beat the Rockdale Bulldogs. The Rams go to 11-3 and 3-0 in sub-region play, your final totals. This is going to be interesting for the Rams. 13 runs on, 6 hits. 2 errors, they left 9 men on base. Your winning pitcher is Ryan Moon, 4 1/3 innings. 6 runs, 5 earned, 4 hits, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, and a partridge in a pear tree. And for Matt Easterday, he comes in and throws 2 2/3 innings, gives up 1 hit, walks 2, strikes out 5. No one gets past first base off him. And Bill, we have decided a little something about Easterday here.
Well, for our local purposes, we did a kind of a survey among local journalists in the area, and due to the fact that high school only plays 7 innings as opposed to Major League playing 9, we feel that 2 2/3 is certainly a long enough stint, and if he pitches effectively in that, so we're gonna give a save in this situation. The thing is, we're gonna do it all year, so that's the thing. It'll be consistently the same for us. So our stats will show a save today for Matt Easterday.
And for the Rockdale Bulldogs, 6 runs, 5 hits, 4 errors. They left 6 men on base. The losing pitcher in this one, the first pitcher for the Rockdale Bulldogs, that being Corey Blackman. We also saw Grant Traylor and Derek Frazier. And Bill, our WGFS player of the game, contributed significantly, as he should, to the Newton Ram victory at the plate and on the pitcher's mound.
That's correct. Normally the second baseman, but taking the mound today, Ryan Moon did a very effective job of pitching, made one very bad pitch that left the yard, but other than that, pitched very effectively, kept the walks down, kept runners pretty much at bay, and had a great day offensively, reaching base 5 consecutive times, had 2 base hits, and walked 3 times, stole a base, and really contributed on both sides of the play. Fielded his position pretty well from the pitcher's point of view, and then went in and played a pretty good shortstop, too, making a good catch on that one play that could have been a disaster where the ball was out there between Jason and Doyle and himself, where he made a good play. But congratulations, Ryan Moon, for your selection as our choice as WGFS Player of the Game.
And we want to congratulate Ryan Moon and the Newton Rams as they win their 11th game of the year. They're 3-0, having won 3 straight home sub-region games. Tomorrow they'll be at Winder Barrow High School if the rain doesn't come pouring down. If it's dry, we'll be there starting at 12 noon. I will be there regardless. I will either be live or I will be interspersed with the Atlanta Braves. We will be checking on that here in the near future and finding out exactly what will be going on. But nonetheless, do listen to WGFS. You'll catch some baseball. Even if it's the Braves, I'll be on to give you updates of the Rams game. So if you can't make it, we'll keep you informed. We are, after all, your sports leader, WGFS, AM 1430. And from 9 to 10, join us for the Saturday morning Super Trivia Spectacular. I'll be there too, as the co-host, Bill Dolan, will be our host. Bill, looking for a good thing tomorrow on the trivia show, and you'll see, 40 minutes of me probably?
Yeah, hopefully you can stick around through most of the show as we give out a lot of prizes and have a good time, as we do every Saturday on WGFS AM 1430 on the Saturday morning Super Trivia Spectacular.
Looking forward to it, Bill. Hopefully we'll continue the winning ways tomorrow, so we certainly hope to have the Rams at 4-0 in the sub-region by the time tomorrow is over with. But that does it from Riverside Park. Bill, any final thoughts as the Rams pick up the 7-run win here?
Well, it wasn't pretty, but it got the job done. The Rams with a win, 3-0 in the sub. Every game in the sub that you can put in the win column helps you towards reaching those playoffs. And that right now is the Rams' #1 goal. They want to reach the playoffs. Another big game tomorrow against Winder Barrow if the weather permits and they get a chance to play them. And we're all gearing up towards next Wednesday. Unfortunately, we'll both be there to do it together. And hopefully the results will be a little better. You left me by myself last year, Kevin, and I couldn't pull it off on Billy Keppinger Day. But let's see if we can't get through this first time through the sub-region undefeated. That would go a long ways towards a championship.
For our executive producer, Todd Q. Chapman, Kevin Holden and Bill Dolan reporting from Riverside Park. Rams go to 3-0 in the sub by winning this one 13-6 over the Rockdale Bulldogs. Good night, everyone, and we send it to Atlanta Braves baseball. The Braves and the Cleveland Indians. Little rematch from the World Series last year. Join us for it.